that many quarters.
No, that's so many
Really?
quarters.
You wouldn't spend like 2 weeks of your life counting quarters for $500,000?
Literally, the physical space that it would take up.
That would
be
weigh
not that much.
49,956 pounds.
You could buy extra space with those quarters.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
I think I'm
You're out of
starting
bank
to get an
already.
idea of why you don't do anything. Your like valuation of things to effort ratio is crazy.
Hi, viewers. Welcome
Fuck you,
to our
viewers. I
stream.
mean, welcome. Welcome. Hello.
We were just tackling the old quarterly problem of what you would
Quarter
do with
value
lots
ratio.
of quarters.
Time ratio algorithm.
You gonna talk during the whole intro, or are we
The
gonna?
cat.
If no quarter.
Tree rating.
I'll wait.
No, you won't. You're just.
Why do we have
smart.
16 viewers? Isn't that like 10 more than we normally have?
I don't know. Why do we have 16 viewers? Can all of you please give your reason for being here?
Please, yes, explain yourselves to us. How
My
dare
life
you?
my life
The
is empty.
audacity.
I have nothing.
All right. Well, welcome, viewership. Welcome, Anon. Thank you for the 15-month resub. That's a whole lot of months. You could gestate a human child in that amount of time.
1.5 children.
Nope, that's not a unit of children. Children is an integer value. Meaning that you could have negative children, but you can't have fractional children.
If you have 2 conjoined kids, but
there's
one
a
of them is
parable in
like
the
an
Bible about
upper
that.
body and a head, are they one kid or half a kid?
Yes.
How many? What part of the
They
kid?
are one kid, because I just told you, kids are integers.
What if they were connected at the leg? Would they be a 3-legged?
Still one kid.
Okay. Anyway, here we're gonna play D&D.
Atyu is a 3-legged monster.
Wait, hold on. Is that
No, I
is
don't
that
want to have.
ogre?
No,
Here we
Don't
go.
wanna
I'll
do
just
it.
mute
Don't
everyone
wanna-
else, and I'll just talk on top of everyone. So the stream won't have to listen to anything, but me. Great. Welcome. Thank you, Roll20.net, for your gracious sponsorship of us in the Spotlight program. It's a Spotlight. Insert witty wordplay about Spotlights here. Great. Also, Kevin MacLeod, you make the music in my heart, in my ears. Thank you very much, Kevin. You are great. Oh, I'm gonna have to take chat privileges away from everyone. All right. What else do I have to say? Thanks, Jubilucky, for nothing recently. Character art a while ago was great. Not for this campaign, though. I'm not sure why this is relevant, but I feel I need to thank her constantly. I don't know, it's sort of conditioned. Emotes! Yes. Yeah. Use those. I think we have more that we should do. Well, let's get on it. That is not one of our... Yeah. All right. Good. Now we can start. So, last time on the last page, we decided to take a trip down a river. But first, the party had returned their way after beating the storm of death and ravens, made their way back to their former quest giver's home to re-harvest nectar of a plant which he had already harvested, but they used to try to bring him back to life. Clearly not the fault of the party, but he's dead and was not able to be resurrected, although it was close. However, upon arriving there, they met their favorite family of tabaxi thieves and brigands, and found that sometimes an ounce of friendship is worth a pound of combat. and were able to talk their way out of any potential conflicts as the Tabaxi ransacked the home of this recently deceased man, whom they are still, for some reason, working for. So, with a prophecy in hand and a hope and a dream and a mystical NPC that is very mysterious and related to former campaign characters, the party headed north to the River of Death, a river that leads into the underworld, and on the docks there they met some colorful characters, a drow king and queen from the west, the Sanguine Citadel, whom liked to once a year take a trip down the River of Death to stare at the doorway to death, have a bottle of wine, and toast to themselves. Rich people, am I right?
The worst.
The worst. So, the party decided to try their luck at doing the same, but without the fare for the ferrymen, they had to earn their keep along the way. And as luck would have it, the shores of the River of Death were lined with offerings for the god of death, whom, as some sort of cruel joke, never cares, as the only currency the gods like are
Souls.
Premium
souls.
currencies. You have to pay them.
We've gone over this before.
Doge coin, Figment coin, they accept as well.
Been investing in that for a while.
Isn't it Doge?
The
No.
G.
Is this is Doge? You
J.
Doge.
But it's
Or-
dog with
or
an
if you're-
E at the end.
dog
All
if you're
the E
fancy.
does is
They're
affect
dog-
the O.
They're
It's
doggy
also pronounced
coins.
GIF.
I
It's-
agree.
It's
Cookie,
GIF. If it's
You're on
Doge,
fire
it's
today.
GIF.
It is Jif.
I know
It's
it's
not.
GIF.
It's not. Traffic. You fucking traffic. You got your goddamn mind.
Jurassic Park. Now let's go.
I'm angry now.
Good.
Cool. So,
Now,
the
wait.
party opened a bunch of these offerings on the banks of the River of Death and found a small fortune, most of which they have to pay the ferryman. But you did come out net positive and were able to snag a magical item along the way. So, you got that going for you, which is nice. And after returning back into, or back down along the river, you made your way deeper into the cave. Eventually, coming up on a very large, towering door set into a very, very smoothly honed wall at the back of this. The river seems to flow up to this. There's kind of a jutting, tiered dock that comes out straight from this giant door out into this river, and the river seems to flow then kind of down underneath it. Where to from there, you don't know. But for all intents and purposes, this river dead ends here unless you want to go swimming. So as you begin to pull up, you do see that the door itself, probably about 50 feet tall, 15 feet, 20 feet wide, something like that, begins to slowly open as you approach. This warm, sort of orangish light spills out with kind of a wafting fog cloud, and you see, standing as the two double doors open, standing in the center there is a large, looks to be a ram.
Black Betty.
It is actually gold in color, almost reflectively so. Looks like its hide is made of metal as it takes several steps forward and positions itself sort of right in the threshold of the door, and then kind of strikes a regal pose there, looking out over the dock, and stands there. You can see coming up from the two pillars that support the door on the either side, there are these large chains that sort of go up and attach up into the ceiling, hanging there. On either side of this kind of raised dais that goes up to the doorstep itself are large piles of bones. And I am going to move you to where you are.
Oh.
Big ram.
Oh.
Do you think the ram can take the dodge action?
It can.
Dodge ram.
I get it.
Doge action, actually.
Alright, so we're waiting for the map to load, and then we'll move the stream over with us. And there we
My
go.
map's there.
It hath loaded. So, you see there the mighty door itself, as your boat very slowly continues to move forward.
We should find a place to exit before we touch something that is considered part of that door. Because it looks like, although maybe I have an incomplete picture of this, those chains look like they've unfurled the steps as some sort of drawbridge.
They're just kind of connected to the sides. They don't look. From what
so
you can
it's
tell, they don't look.
symbolic mooring to the world or something.
Yeah, you can't. If you could see the whole picture, it would be more clear. But they just sort of sweep up and out.
I see. We still don't want to go exactly to the door. Although, doesn't your creature want to eat that golden ram?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Wow. Does it look?
Look edible.
Just allow.
Does it look edible? Because when I look at this picture, it looks like metallic. I would imagine it's not.
It looks, as far as you can tell, to be made entirely of metal.
It's not good for chafe.
Just the words of a quitter.
Your boat continues to slowly drift forward.
And talking to, if I could have a moment with the ferryman to be like, are you able to wait for us?
I have brought you to the gate, and I will bring you back from the gate.
Okay.
That wasn't an answer.
Do we like signal you to get us back?
I will be here.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
Wait! You gotta unfurl the drop the anchor.
Whoa.
Oh. Okay. Phew.
That was a fancy maneuver.
Oh, this is when you drop the anchor, and then it's a hard turn.
Right.
Do you know what the ram is?
That is the sentinel of the gate.
Okay. I presume it's not friendly?
It is only there for a purpose. Its purpose is not friendship. It is a guardian.
Of the galaxy. I hop onto the stairs.
Right.
And you said there were rules for this, right? About the way that everything was supposed to work down here?
Yes.
What were those again?
Nothing can leave the underworld.
Okay.
So if we play fetch and it runs into the underworld, it can never come back. Where should we look?
Well, if Gilda was left at the door,
Uda?
Gilda, Marcasa's daughter, her name was Gilda.
Ooh.
Okay.
Gnomes. Gnomes with their gnome names.
He was they're halflings, but that's
Clearly,
fine.
that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. We should probably look to see if he hid her somewhere around the door. Yeah.
So, where would you hide it?
Files are in the computer. It's so simple.
What if we tried asking the big thing?
Good luck.
If we don't break any rules, it probably won't kill us.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I want to look at Emily to see how she's reacting to seeing this door.
Oh yeah, the chains make a lot more sense now.
She seems sort of just as kind of in cautious awe as the rest of you. But has not yet disembarked the boat.
Okay.
As you are all conveniently standing on the edge of the thing, so she has nowhere to get off.
We'll take a step forward.
I have my hand out waiting for her to come.
From 15 feet away, she does not take it.
Absolutely.
Jump!
Yeah.
Is that a face in the water? Yeah.
Yeah, you can sort of see these sort of ghastly forms float through every now and again.
Oh, those are skulls in the bedrock. I see what they've done. That's pretty cool.
I really like what you've done with the place.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see where they copy pasted. Oh.
I would I want to try and look over here first. Maybe look to the left.
I can't help but notice that we are still damaged from our last fiasco.
Oh yeah.
This is life. I actually have 2 different hit point totals, and I don't know which one is correct.
The lower.
You're at 1.
So, all of you are too far away to inspect anything in
Yeah,
close
I would like to
detail over there.
move cautiously closer.
If you wish some healing, 1 moment, please. That's entirely up to you, though.
I will take it.
Right. As you all sort of begin to take some slow, cautious steps forward, the head of the ram does turn slightly to follow your movements.
Greetings, Quaid Guardian. Nothing to see here.
Okay? As long as you're within 30 feet of me when this is cast. I'm going to cast the spell Prayer of Healing. It will take 10 minutes, but now that we're stable and not moving and there's no onslaught, you could just wait 10 minutes. Bruce, sit.
But...
You don't have to have this healing, Groost. But if you do want it...
I do like healing.
I'll click it once you say it's resolved, Casey, but I am casting 2nd level spell Prayer of Healing.
Is anyone doing anything for 10 minutes?
I will do detect magic during that time. If he's going to take
as
10
a
minutes to do that.
Rituale.
Yes. So I'm going to scoot back closer to him to kind of do that
Okay.
together.
Like, don't you get your ritual into my ritual. I don't want to detect your healing. I want to heal. Wait.
Maybe this is like a peanut butter and chocolate moment. So we create like, prayer, healing, detect magic. Like it's a new spell.
I'm a big fan of the Reese's Peanut Butter Company. Or
All right.
product.
If nobody is doing anything, you are.
I'd just like to watch the goat over the course of the 10
Damn,
minutes.
Dora.
All right. It is.
You know the next question's gonna
unsettlingly
be.
Still.
Can we vibe it?
What is there to vibe? It's a golden goat.
Your spell's complete.
Ta-da! Cast. Enjoy 19 points, everybody.
Pretty
That's
good
roll.
Up to 6 players, and that is a very good roll because a 7 and a 4 is a little above average, and then my features are nice. I don't know if Emily took any damage because I don't see her health bar at all, but
She is fine.
19 if
healed
she needs it.
Back up to full from. I guess I can. Does that let you see her?
That just lets me see a bar without the numbers now.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's at full health, so.
It does look like it's full. I might actually prefer it without the numbers. It takes a little more realism. Like, I don't need to know
Yeah.
that Zahara only has 33 max. I just need to know that Zahara's at max.
All right. Well, detect magic is up.
Hello.
Healing has gone through.
Okay. Now I've spent 1 spell of each level as well as my feature to heal from earlier.
Do we want to split up or do we want to try to go the same direction at the same time?
My healing's not being reflected. Maybe I refresh. Who's good at investigation? Because I feel this isn't going to be a perception. It's going to be. I feel that. I don't know. Maybe
I am
I
pretty
also
good
am.
at that.
I am very non-player character average at that.
All right. So
Emily nods.
So Olive, with Detect Magic up, is going to start, looking closely around, slowly moving closer. I do think that I'm going to flank to the left first.
I'm
That's my
gonna,
light source.
I'm gonna mirror
Shit.
Olive, keeping an eye on the ram.
So, kind of closely inspecting the path I'm taking, as well as, are these is this something I need to walk around or is it something I could step over?
The chain is like up above you.
Yeah, but I mean
it's
more
up.
like this.
Oh no, those are, not more than a couple feet high, so you can just
Oh,
step
okay.
past them.
All right.
More ornamental. As you move closer, the ram sort of just fixates on those of you who are moving towards the gate.
Okay.
Now that I am closer, does this seem to be like a construct of some kind, or like a very large armored ram, or?
From what you can tell, you don't see any sort of biological entity within whatever these golden plates are. Whether it's just a really well sealed up armor or a construct, you don't really know.
Hey, is the ram glowing?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that. What am I seeing for magic right now?
You see a black hole of magic around the sentinel, as if it is pretty much invisible to whatever. It's sort of impenetrable.
There's something blocking my vision.
Okay, well, I mean, you are staring into the gates of the underworld, so I guess that kind of tracks.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time I've seen that. First time I've done this. It's a first for a lot of things.
I also have not often visited the underworld.
Really? I would have thought, you'd want to map out. I mean, like, the maps you're going to make after this are going to be pretty good.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Other things with detect magic, the river itself just churns with necromancy energy below you. The door radiates sort of necromantic magic as well. There's abjuration magic around the door, swirled into that. The pile of bones over here doesn't seem like there is any particular magic to it. Just sort of strikes you as what a normal pile of bones would look like.
Okay. I'm going to quietly call out, Gilda. Gilda.
I don't think she's gonna be up to answering. It sounded like she was pretty...
Suspended animation.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, hey.
from the description we got.
I would like to investigate these bones to see if are the bones gently breathing as if they are covering someone. I would like to gently kind of poke around in them and investigate.
Can I aid in this?
Yes. All of you may. Are you trained in investigation?
I am indeed trained in investigation.
All of you may roll with advantage. Alright, you
I'm glad
kind
you're
of
going to help in this matter.
stare at the bones for a while, don't get any sort of sense of motion or anything. Are you going to go as far as, like, rifling through them? I mean, it's a pretty big, it's like, 12 feet out from the wall and goes up about, like, 8 feet in. So it's a pretty big pile of bones.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use Mage Hand to delicately kind of, like...
Oh, here's Pippin and Moria.
Just kind of like see, because this happened fairly recently, so if she was anywhere, she might be like closer to the bottom layer. So just kind of...
Actually, that's an interesting question. Looking around while Olive continues to poke at the bone pile, do I see any sign of people recently having come through here? Footprints, signs of things having been disturbed?
Picket signs.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
While that's occurring, I would also like to take a look into the water. How deep is the water? Could something with suspended animation be just dumped into the water like a gnome might? Or heifer?
Make a perception check for the water.
An attempt has been made.
Looking around, you do see that there are several sets of footprints sort of like back in this area.
Solid.
Hey.
Looking down, it takes you a little bit because it is sort of swirling with sort of shimmering energy and stuff. It's kind of like looking through like oil on water, but in multiple layers. You look down and you're guessing that it's probably 20 feet down.
It's quite deep.
You can tell that sort of like as you walk up and down like the little pier that comes out here, it is shallower towards this end and it gets deeper and deeper until like sort of right underneath it looks like it just sort of like goes way down into something, as if this whole river is just flowing into some sort of larger hole.
Oh, the river's flowing into this thing?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't understand that. Okay.
And it's
I was about to say that's a perfect little watery grave for somebody who's on death's door. But I'm not getting into water. So I guess that gnome was lying. Halfling.
Mr. Metal.
He's a gnome in
Animal.
my head, I'm sorry.
Do you speak? Do you understand?
It's
Saying
its gaze is focused on you as you approach, but it doesn't move.
I am not here to break any rules. We're looking for somebody on this side of the door. Was wondering if you knew where they were. If you tell us, we'll be out of your way. Sort of a girl, halfling.
No, wait, no, you're right. Halfling.
Halfling. No, nothing?
Doesn't seem like the ram has any reaction to what you're.
You know, if the rule is you can't leave hell, it shouldn't bother with us at all.
Wait, to be clear, I don't think this isn't hell.
Whatever underworld it's representing.
It's all sort of.
I mean,
Well,
just like a theological question, real
It's
fast.
heck. It's not hell. It's heck. It's not as bad.
Is this like a neutral underworld? If like, well, I mean, like if the nine hells, because it's not like souls don't go to the nine hells. Souls go to the nine hells as like parts of like contracts. But like, where does the average mortal soul go that hasn't been contracted to like a devil?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
What you get for asking questions.
Questions.
Goddamn mouth shut.
16.
All right, you don't take psychic damage from trying to consider one of the ineffable questions of the universe. You have no idea. You've never been dead. You've never traveled to any of the places in the underworld. For all you know, hell is on the other side of the door. For all you know, heaven is on the other side of this door. You have no idea.
Okay, but surely your average religion, of which there are many in this world, has some sort of like, they at least have some theology around death and the fate of souls after death.
All you
Followers of Scorius.
in general,
turned to stone and petrified in ground to make more earth.
yeah, that's it.
Just FYI. That's mine.
The general feeling of things is that gods basically take ownership of souls, much in the way that people would perhaps claim ownership of something like a currency. And if you align yourself with specific gods, then you end up in the afterlife that particular god wants you in. What happens to everybody else? Those people usually aren't the religious ones. If you ask any religion, they'll all say that horrible things happen to all of the ones in all of the other religions. But nobody really knows. You're aware that like there are sort of devils, and that's kind of like not a great place to end up, but also is sort of more structured. There's also like afterworld places that are sort of like nightmare scapes of chaos, which is like the abyss, which is kind of a realm of demons, which is also part of the underworld. But the underworld itself is a long, sort of winding series of planes and demi-planes, all connected by the river that you have laid underneath you on your travels here. So you don't really know. Those are kind of like the big ticket underworld things, and there's like, you know, concepts of heaven and like good places you can go and all of that, but it's not quite as binary as, you know, Christianity and heaven and hell, right? There's all sorts of shades of death in between.
That was what I was looking for, was like, in this world, what is the conception of the afterlife? Which I now know. So thank you.
I'm gonna continue to walk.
I mean, I should have just had Timur say. I mean, his characters have been there a lot more frequently than everyone else's.
Yeah. Are you running like a side quest for
No,
him just
those
alone
people
with just those
were
characters?
turned to stone. You're not listening. And they were ground up to make more earth. That's the will of Scorius. It's quite the honor.
Well, there you go. So,
You were talking. Oh, did we resolve you talking to the ram or no? It just didn't answer.
well, it didn't attack me, which is the start of a friendship. After this point, I usually just get Eloise out. Eloise?
Eloise comes out.
Now, I know that you have yet to be useful in any of these things at all, but there's a first time for everything, Eloise. Help me find the small halfling girl.
Eloise
Do not consume.
Go.
sits
Go.
down.
Do not consume.
Go ahead and make an animal handling check, please.
Oh, fuck. Oh, Jesus.
All right, Eloise sits down, starts grooming itself.
Bruce sits down on the floor with Eloise.
All right, let it be known that Eloise is officially on the battlefield. If
Oh,
combat
shit. Back in the bag. Back in the bag, Eloise.
Olive would like to continue to investigate this area just to make sure that I'm not missing anything.
All right, yeah. You go through and with Mage Hand and everything, rifle through. If you were looking for piles of bones and bones buried under bones, which were also buried under piles of bones, you have found it in that corner.
Oh, cool. Looking over it, like, kind of like taking her time and looking through these rocks and things like that. If anybody's hidden, like tucked underneath a rock or something like that, or behind a rock or something.
With your 25, you don't see anything but rocks and more bones.
More bones. All right.
You do notice all of these bones, there's no like evidence of sort of decay or like, old rotted flesh or anything. All of these bones are like, for all intents and purposes, like clean. Not necessarily clean of like dirt, but like, they're just bone. There's no other biological matter attached to them.
Are there like teeth marks?
On
The bones.
give me an investigation roll.
They like that whole fish cartoon where they pull like the cartoon cat puts the fish in its mouth and pulls out the skeleton bones of the fish.
19.
Going over, half a dozen of them, you don't find any teeth marks.
Okay. Just curious.
They have teeth.
Hey, Groose.
Hello?
Is your creature able to breathe underwater? Have you fed it fish?
No. Eloise, can you breathe underwater?
No response.
Eloise is uncertain.
The magic 8-ball Eloise, I see.
Try again next time.
Do you have any fish? Alive?
I don't swim well as I'm heavily armored. There's a deep. Apparently, is the current stronger at the deep end, or is it because it's so deep? Does it slow down? Does it appear obvious?
There isn't much change. The river does sort of meander a bit.
Okay.
So You're
So
guessing it's
something-
like if you were walking alongside at like a normal walking pace, that's about how fast the river goes.
So something affixed to the bottom would stay at the bottom. It wouldn't be pushed or dragged.
Yes. You don't see a bottom though in where like right at that part where it drops down. Whatever it is goes too far down for you to see.
Then I will conduct a test. I'm going to try to go to the side somewhere and find a loose chunk of rock that I know will sink straight.
Okay.
And if I can find that, I will cast a light spell on it and drop it in to observe its descent. And it might be forever, whatever. That's fine.
All right.
But there might be like, oh look, 10 feet down, chained to something. It's
Yeah. So easy enough to find chunks of
concrete
rock
shoes and all, you know.
along the river there. You cast light on it. It glows brightly in your hand. And are you just
Bloom?
dropping it in that?
Well, I mean, I'm probably
area?
gonna Donkey Kong throw it, but yeah, right in.
All right. So you drop it in and you hear or you see this sort of yellowish light that glows up for a second. It sinks very slowly, like almost as if this is not like water. This is a much more sort of viscous fluid. And it doesn't.
Oh, it's gelatinous.
And
This
it doesn't sink straight down either. As it goes, you can see like hands sort of reach up and form around it and hit it and go, and like one point this sort of ghoulish thing grasps onto it and sort of spins it around and tumbles a little bit, then lets go, and you just watch as it sinks deeper and deeper. This sort of parade of creatures, sort of half alive, half dead, swirl into it, and it just sinks until it grows dim and more dim, and then you don't see it anymore.
Probably not down there now. Now that I think about it. I'll put my light back on my shield so I can see again.
Ghost
And,
is formulating an idea. So, the creatures or things down there are responding to things that don't seem dead, right? Like they're not grabbing each other.
we can't tell if they're grabbing each other.
Can we tell if they're grabbing each other?
I mean, it doesn't look like there's specific individual creatures. It's within this liquid. It just sort of occasionally you see these sort of magical spectral forms that swirl out, almost like you would see sort of like an eddy current or like the end of a wave cresting. But this is happening all under
Okay.
the surface.
But it's not like creature. Okay.
It takes the form of sort of these garish faces or sort of clawed hands or that sort of thing. But it's all very spectral in nature.
Groose is gonna tie a rope around his waist and give the other ends to Maliath, just in case. And Groose wants to dip.
I don't know. I don't fish a lot, especially with a goblin as bait.
Groose wants to dip a foot into the water.
Right. It feels about the consistency of water. It is not as viscous as the rock moving through it would have led you to believe. It is cold and
I pull you back. Ah!
feels not quite. Something about it feels wrong. Everything that sort of your divine connection and all of that, it just feels like the antithesis of that.
Oh, this ain't nice. Like a bad thing. So I feel like I should go down there.
Of course you do.
Based on what?
Well, so I have very bad judgment, right?
Clearly.
You're
I
not
don't-
selling me on this plan.
Hold on. I don't want to go down there, which means I should probably go down there.
Bruce, none of us want to
Everything
go
you
down
do in
there.
life is wrong. Then everything you don't do is right.
Exactly.
You're
The
Costanza.
world exists in a perfect binary.
I think seeing this happen, I would like to move closer to this happening.
That is not the reaction I would have as a person.
Well,
So-
not like the edge, but like I'm pretty far away right now to be able
So-
to help.
So here is test number 2.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Dearest, this is a bad idea.
Grush wants to stick his head in the water.
All right. So you're getting down, sort of prone, and sticking your head into the water.
Yes.
Need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. $23.
All right.
Whoa.
Yeah, 2 ends of the spectrum. there.
You feel this sort of like almost pulling and grasping almost from the liquid itself, like almost like a surface tension, but like just pulling you down in as you go, and also that same feeling, but it feels like it's not only just physically pulling you in, but it's physically sort of drawing your life essence from you. Once you start feeling that, you are able to kind of resist and pull away. You are sort of very quickly out of breath. Your skin feels not wet from the liquid, but dry, almost desiccated.
Oh, it's
that-
hydrophobic. This whole thing is a hydrophobic liquid.
Not good. Bad place down there. Not good. Oof. So it wants to draw my life out of me.
And Malaya, you do
Please.
see as he pulls his head back out, some of the water just sort of like reaches up with like a little hand, and then sort of slowly receives back into it.
Just reading a spell.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Goose, that water certainly wants to get a hold of you.
So here's my idea. Tell me if I'm crazy. After I'm done.
Hard to say anything else, but
So if I make my aura appear as dead, it won't try and draw the life out of me, which means I can go down into the water and see if there's anything around.
Do we want to search the right-hand side of this first before you?
No, we should definitely do this first. Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. I don't want to poo-poo your idea. We just haven't done the other side.
Let's
first.
investigate the parts of this area that do not require you to masquerade as an undead first.
Yeah.
I will wait.
All right.
So you have some sort of spell that makes you what? Dead?
No, I have a spell that is very
you're gonna
useless.
feign death?
So I'm hoping the great god above will. Well, no, it's more like it's more like this.
You mean the one that we've already used to great effect once?
Yes.
You place an illusion.
That useless spell.
Oh, illusion, huh? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't specifically mention it, but it's all in the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, if they're using magic to kind of feel that you're there, that might work. I'd be willing to let you test it.
I would like to investigate the right-hand side
All right.
I'm gonna go with Olive again.
before this happens.
Oliver Zahar should be finished with that. So just a moment, Grist.
Who's gonna start his stretches?
Oliver's
right.
very,
Getting
very
over
particular.
towards this,
She can
pile
find
of
it. If it's over
bones,
there, she'll find
Yeah.
You do sort of get a faint sense of necromancy magic from kind of deep within the bones.
The bones. Okay. I would like to start using Mage Hand to kind of like scrape, like move some of the bones away from kind of where I'm getting that sense.
All right. You slowly begin to kind of move debris and dig your
All
way
right.
through, and eventually,
Somebody, cat, knocked over something. I'll be right back.
eventually, you do discover what appears to be a body.
Okay. I would like to get closer to and I say to Sahar, kind of cover me a little bit.
I'm gonna kind
She
of
starts
put
putting
my
bones
back
on
to.
you.
I'm gonna put my back to Olive and just like keep an eye on the goat.
The
And,
ram looks down at Eloise.
I mean, how could you not, right?
Yeah. Eloise has so many limbs.
Eloise is also the closest person to the gate.
Come back here, Eloise. This thing is scary.
So I continue to dig in, around the like to pull the body out.
Alright, and you find hidden amongst all of this is a body sort of laying on the stone with sort of bones stacked up there, arms sort of crossed across the chest, full color in her features. It is a halfling woman, dressed fairly nicely. Doesn't look like there's any evidence of decay or anything like that.
Okay. Is there a locket that says Gilda?
We should
kidding.
switch your body.
Yeah. So I telepathically say to Groost, I found her. Don't go in the water. I mean, unless you want to. You do what you want to do, but we found the girl.
Bruce, jump in.
Not now. I'm trying to get ready to jump in the water to find the girl.
Telepathically say to Malith, don't let Groost jump in the water. I found the girl.
You're fading in and out. I can't let Bruce. I got you.
Did you say put Groost in the water?
I did my due diligence. They can do what they want. All right.
Think Bruce, lead with Eloise first in the water and then go.
Oh, Eloise is too pure for the water.
I do think, Groost, did you give me the bottle?
Of what?
The nectar?
Whiskey.
Oh,
Or would you have hung on to it?
well, you can have it. Here.
Right.
From 40 feet away.
Yeah.
Drews just goes, here, and just holds it out and stands perfectly still.
Can you bring it to me?
Hey, are you sure we
Yes.
should try to wake her up here?
Well, would the ram be more suspicious of taking a almost dead person away from the underworld or an alive person?
I guess that's a good
Well,
point.
but we're not taking them away from the underworld.
She
we're
is
taking
very
them-
specifically outside. It's a technicality, but I'm a big believer in technicalities.
Because my thing is, if we have complications in taking her out, she'll be really dead versus like kind of alive that we could help her out more.
But
Okay.
what if she has very important information to give us?
She doesn't know us. She's likely to act rashly.
Or we just say that we're friends of her dad, who is dead.
That should probably not be what we lead with.
I think we just say your dad sent us to get you, to help you.
So, Hara,
Which is-
you hear a clattering of metal sort of echo and reverberate through the
I
cavern.
would like to get away. Damn it.
Okay, otherwise, back in the back. If that's okay with you.
Which direction does it seem to be coming from?
Make a perception roll.
Metal?
Nine.
Hard to tell.
Okay. What's the ram doing?
Ram is motionless.
Okay, not the ram. Narrowing it down. Do you hear that?
Oh, there's only two metal things. The chains and the ram. Unless there's more. But other than that, there's only two.
Are either two things or more than two things.
I'm clad in a lot of metal.
Yes,
You
but
yell
you're not,
from across.
you're not moving.
You're right. I wouldn't yell. I just look at myself and go.
Are the
Invisible
chains
hands.
are the chains moving?
Chains don't appear to be moving. They're
Okay.
pretty big and heavy. For something to move them, it would have to be quite large.
Okay. All right. So giving her the elixir now.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
So I kind of prop up her head and start to feed her the elixir.
All right. So I am going to need. We're going to do this the same way we did with harvesting. So I'm going to need a. This is going to be a best of 3 medicine checks.
Oh.
As you sort of look her over in your arms, for all intents and purposes, she's dead. Does radiate necromancy magic, but you get the sense that, and after having Maliath try to do this once, that it's, not just like pour it down her throat and just hold her nose, right?
Sure.
There's a little bit of magicalness to it. So
Make-
if you want to
make-
prepare more,
Yeah. If kind of
The chocolate helps her go down
that's not
easier.
that's not
Oh.
my strong suit.
so
Bruce,
Well,
I don't
I-
know if you heal.
I don't heal, but
Oh, okay.
I am a learned goblin.
Okay.
Which admittedly is on par with a unlearned goat. But so if you like pop them up here, and you turn the head here, they can breathe easier. Now she's not breathing, but that's the goal.
Okay. If you
Maybe
want,
we
I
should
can hold
get-
her and prop if you would like to administer.
To do the
Maybe we should
pouring.
get
Yeah.
Goliath.
Yes.
Come here.
Goliath,
I thought we were worried about metal sounds.
if you had to put a number on
everyone's
your
passive
ability,
perception.
14.
13.
17.
14.
Maliath, you hear footfalls. They're not very heavy, but they are slowly getting louder.
When you say footfalls, am I hearing one person's footfalls, or are you talking about a marching band?
Single person sounds like running.
Oh. From, I assume, somewhere upstream?
From the direction of the door.
Oh, even better. Hey, the door! It's where somebody's trying to... Oh my god, they're going to make a break for it. They're going to get some... I need
Godspeed,
popcorn.
not our problem.
I need popcorn.
Goliath. Halfling.
What?
Halfling.
What about her?
My life, if you had to put a number on your medical ability, what would it be?
I would never do such a thing. It's
But-
reprehensible to even ask.
But if I had forced you,
Would you
I
consider
asked you-
yourself proficient in medicine?
I'm
guarantee-
proficient.
I guarantee you're
My
good at
healings
this.
are all divine in nature, and that is all. I've had no formal training.
Okay, I have. Goblins hurt themselves a lot. I
Well,
help sometimes. Hurt
but
them.
then No,
I think time
I
is of
still
the
trust
essence.
you.
Okay, I'm going to stop now. Who's helping me?
Okay.
Nobody.
I have-
don't
I
really
have-
have the ability to
I
help
have-
you unless the DM
I-
will let me use other skills.
Yeah, I'm not trained, but I do. In the situation right now, prop the way that Groost has instructed me to do. To assist.
Okay. Anyone doing anything else to assist this process?
Is there any way that I can use, since whatever is affecting her right now is arcane in nature, since there's some sort of necromantic magic affecting her, can I use what I have studied in the arcane to help this at all?
It is quite possible. Why don't you make an Arcana check for me, please?
I will make an arcana check. 17.
All right. Looking things over and kind of piecing it together, you're guessing that this is some sort of spell that puts someone into sort of a stasis, but makes it appear that they are dead. So even though it appears by all indications that she is dead, she's likely not dead. You also sort of know that there is some, though probably not necessarily arcane in nature, there is some magical nature in all of this, and that should help give a little bit of aid in doing this. So you can now add a d4 to your rolls, whoever is making this.
That would be good. I will also be guidancing myself before each attempt, if that's okay.
They're your spells.
Thank you very much. They're also cantrips. I will begin.
All right.
Not up the nose. What are you doing?
One at a time, please.
I'll be adding 2d4 to each of these.
Does guidance give you a d4 or does it give you advantage?
D4.
D4. Not a great first roll. Repaired.
Alright, the DC is 14.
Very good.
So, and with that, Maliath, you see a silhouette of a figure emerging in the doorway, running at full speed from behind the ram. And a voice just yells out, "Go! Go! 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 Don't wait! Start the boat!" And I need all of you to roll initiative, please.
And
Let me
by
clear this
us,
off.
you mean just the ram, right?
There's no,
We just watch.
It's just sort of like, hold on a second, I don't want to be involved in this.
You made your own deathbed, buddy.
Alright, so let me get Emily.
I don't know what's going on. My D&D Beyond is not updating my health totals.
Alright, just in case. Alright. Do we get everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let's get the ferryman in here. That could be relevant. Here, initiative matters too. Look at him. He's like, can we leave yet? Can we go? Alright. Ferryman and Emily do nothing. Olive, you all do hear this this yelling, but only Maliath's vantage point actually sees this.
Do we want to speed this up, process up? If I administer this based on what Zahara said, would I get a D4?
Yes, it is an
Okay.
action to attempt each of these. You have 1 success so far.
Yes. We need 3.
Is it the same 3 successes before 3 failures?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, let's do it. I help and assist, or I continue in the administering of this. Oh, I failed. I got a 4.
All right, Groost, as you as you're going, Olive's like, speed it up, and takes your hand and sort of just like jams it.
No.
Sorry!
No, not that. Just go help defend. Ah!
All right, Zahara, you are up.
I'm a cook, not a doctor.
Damn it,
This is
Groost.
why-
I will, I guess, pull my crossbow just in case we find ourselves in a position where such things become necessary. And I guess I will hold a crossbow shot if it seems like Maliath or any of us are in danger, or if it seems like there is a chance that whoever comes out is able to convince the ferryman to leave with them before we're done.
All right. And as you sort of draw your crossbow and point it up towards the sentinel area, it does sort of slowly look over at you and running at full sprint. You do see a figure break the threshold here. And their movement gets them to right there on a double move. You can see looks like a very lithe dwarf or a very stout elf. Muscular in builds, sort of almost greenish yellow hair, pointed ears, clutching a fairly large book. Doesn't appear to have anything else. Looks like fairly bedraggled, covered in dirt, running, sweating, looks up at all of you as she sees you pointing the crossbow down at her. Zahara, she smiles in your direction like a big sort of toothy smile. Okay, let's go.
And I'm just like gesturing with the crossbow. We're not friends.
And she looks like she's headed down there. Grist, you are up.
Casey, question.
Grist.
So, what? The act of doing this would be an action, right?
Correct.
So I can't guidance myself and to do this.
Correct.
Okay. I will just administer it properly. None of this fucking.
From the top rope.
She's not a souffle. I don't know what that means, but she's not.
You are correct.
A girl is not a souffle.
Okay, I won't. I mean, I'll add something just to flex, but.
All right, so you are able to sort of like push Olive away and get a successful.
Hi, I'm Goose. Very lovely to meet you. Can you take the big golden ram the other way? Busy here, saving lives. Hello, though.
Who's he talking to?
No idea.
This person.
All
This
right.
person. Right here.
You can see.
I just like to think it's muttering underneath your breath.
the ram itself. Any of you who are looking up, focused at the ram, you can see in all of the seams between all of the golden plates, there's this sort of like now glowing energy that seems to be burning out in this sort of orange light as it's sort of now for the first time adjusts kind of its body to face this person that has begun to run out. Maliath, you are up.
So it just reoriented? That's it?
Well, it looks like it's sort of like drawing back to do something.
Great.
Charging this power attack.
I'm going to do a hold action. If the person making a mad dash past the golden goat makes it to me, I would like to react with a grapple attack.
All right. Can be done.
And then I find out it's a goat and I just,
All right. The ferryman looks enthused. Emily draws her sword out into her hand. Olive.
Now let me zoom in. I don't think I like this person.
Groost, are you sure you don't want me to help?
Oh, yeah.
Get away.
Okay. Okay. I am going to
You should have just hissed.
continue to hold, but I'm really curious about that book that she's holding.
All right, you're holding curiosity.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess yeah, I mean, I'm holding. Is me holding this person doing anything for you, Groost, or no? Sorry, it came out weird.
Well, you can put her down, you know, gently, and without messing everything up.
All right.
Don't.
I don't really know what to do. I guess I will just, because we gotta carry her. Maybe take the dodge action.
Ouch.
That's
Okay, dodge action.
yeah.
Zahara, you are up.
Same thing. I'm just gonna continue. If it seems like she's a threat to us, then I will fire a crossbow bolt at her. Otherwise, also hiss at the people around me. We are not getting involved in this.
All right, it is her turn. She's going to take the disengage action. 25, 30, and it's going to run up in your direction, Maliath. She's not running past you yet, but I mean, she's going in this way. She sort of faints a little bit as the ram goes to swing its head fairly slowly at her, and she keeps going. She just looks up at you and just like, let's go, time to go.
Yeah, my held action triggers.
All right.
Here's my athletics to grapple. Tested. None shall pass.
And you have her grappled. All right.
I'd like to think of it as an Undertaker choke, where they're like,
It's like right around her face.
You flip her upside down.
All right.
the pile driver's coming. The tombstone, it's coming. You just wait. Next
Garoosh,
round.
you are up as Maliath grabs this unknown person.
So just going to quickly save you. And 3, 2, 1. You are saved.
All right. And with that, the last of the nectar is absorbed in, and the body kind of
jelly. You could
begins
just put
begins to breathe again. Just looks up. Then for a second, the whole body sort of glows this sort of warm orange color, that's the same color that the lily was there. Her eyes just open, looking up at you, Groost, and she lets out a blood-curdling scream.
Bruce starts screaming too.
No, stop yelling. It's fine. The goblin is a friend. That is like the goblin's primary goal.
All right. As all of this screaming is happening, the sentinel begins to move forward.
The sentinel's gonna get in our way.
Nah, no.
Really?
It just
Well,
sort
I
of,
do know what my next character's gonna be.
It sort of rears back, and then you can see the energy channel up through and into the head, and the jaw just sort of. And there's this torrent of fire that comes out of it. This is a 15-foot cone.
Nope.
We'll get
No,
both of you.
it's a 10-foot cone.
All right. 15-foot cone. I need dexterity saving throws from both.
Do I have cover from the person I'm holding as a shield?
Unfortunately, you do not.
Dex, you say. Dex, you say. Well, let my +0 Dex saving throw
All right,
save the
she
day.
fails.
Ha ha! Oh my
All
god!
right.
A 19!
So, here comes the damage. 24 damage or half as much, so you take 12 damage.
Well, let's see if my racial is back or has it not come back yet. I don't think actually I've had a short rest or a long rest. I'm not even sure which one it is.
And in your arms, Maliath, you can see that she kind of turns around and shields the book from the fire, and in doing so, just gets absolutely burnt up. Still conscious, still kicking, but very much not great. You get the sense that her being held was a little bit of a detriment to her being able to, get out, and that will do it for its action. Maliath.
Take the book.
What's this whispering in my mind?
What was that, Mr. Pigeon?
Also,
Oh, no,
Maliath,
that's straight up Olive. I know it's not her turn, but
since you do have a very high passive perception, looking back, all of this as the smoke clears, you do hear that clanking metal sound again, as it appears two sort of like suits of armor are clamoring in this direction.
Fantastic. What I'm gonna like to do is, if I move a grappled creature, but I don't have the grapple condition, I can move at half speed and move them, correct?
Correct. You can drag them.
Yes. I would like to drag push one square closer to the golden goat.
Okay.
Straight north.
All right.
I figure if the goat doesn't have to breathe fire, maybe it won't.
Optimistic.
All right.
Okay.
So that's 10 feet of movement.
It is. My standard action is to take the Doge action, as I do not wish to be attacked physically if that does occur. So.
Please account for the 12 from the fire breath too.
Oh, I did. It was working. My hit points were working. Hold on. What if I do
Okay, I
this?
just wanted to make sure it was there.
It's working here. It's only working there sometimes. Let's try this again. No, it didn't matter if it was highlighted this time. That's funny. Well,
Right, the ferryman
I'll manually do
spins,
it.
The boat around there. As it appears that there may be some writing on the wall here. Emily just sort of yells back at you, Maliath. Whatever it is, it's not worth it. Just get on the boat.
I agree.
Olive, you are up.
Olive is going to try to calm down the halfling girl. We're here to get you out. Your father sent us.
Just adding
And
things to the,
if I can kind of
With Bruce still leaning, screaming over her.
yeah, either yeah, like kind of like
Calm
take her
down.
arm over my shoulder to like start walking with her, like taking her towards the boat.
Okay. I'll let you move your. You're not like grappling. She's not like resisting, so you're just kind of
Right.
guiding her. She is somewhat in shock. So,
So you say she's dead weight?
I think the furthest I can kind of move without getting into the is probably I'm gonna move there with her.
I'll move her when you're
Okay.
moving along. All right.
And the whole time I'm just like, it's okay, you know, like just.
As you start moving this way, you just see this huge torrent of fire breathed over Maliath, and the intruder, and then Maliath starts like pushing her towards the thing. All right.
Olive still is looking very curious about this person, but like seeing like all this fire went at the book and is very curious about that book.
All right.
Selfishly in her head. That's her turn.
Zahara.
All right, Kirst, on the boat. On the boat, Kirst. Bye.
I've been left alone.
Come on, Goose. Come on.
It's-
Come on.
Meet you over there.
Goodbye.
And I am going to go.
Come
You said there's a friend on the boat?
Are
on.
these
Goose is.
viable things to step on? These squares?
Sure.
Am I in danger of like falling into the this?
They're viable walkings. I mean, you are
A lime jello.
you
Just call it what it is.
are one step away from falling into them. So if something were to push you, you could fall in. So
Okay. Well, let's see how far I can get.
There is an attack of opportunity from the book girl.
Not for me.
Maybe not for you.
So I could do. I think I can get on the boat, but only barely.
You haven't even moved.
I'm measuring. Okay. So I am going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my. I'm going to use my movement, and then I'm going to expend my action to dash, giving me 60 feet of movement. And then at the point where I would take an attack of opportunity from the ram and the butt girl, I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage.
okay.
I should have. Hold on. And so I'm going to go. I'm going to land there. So I'm just going to move myself there.
It can be done.
That will be my turn.
All right. The clanking continues.
Oh, that's not good.
As these come barreling out, there's 20 more. Trunk. For there. All right, that's dashing movement, and you hear more clanking in the distance, Maliath. Groose, you are up.
Okay. 5, 10,
Stop clanking. I hear that.
15. Excuse me. 20, 25. Oh, this is an unpleasant situation.
Trust me.
I don't want to go over here. Badness is afoot. Quickly reading spells. Can I target non-creatures with this? No. Okay. Groose will go here, lay a hand on the girl's arm, and say, "It's okay. Let Magloo it into your heart, and everything will be fine." And she's guidanced.
The girl is guidanced?
Yes.
Okay. And I
I
forgot
keep her away. What are you
I
doing?
forgot her turn, so I'll just have her go. Now, she's on 6. Should add a turn. Blink. I'll just put her here. All right. She's going to attempt to break the grapple here.
Let me look at my acrobatics. No, I have to use athletics, and also, I just saw my acrobatics, so it's good that I have to use my athletics.
Plus 1d4 plus. Okay.
Not hard, not difficult. Not good.
And unwilling to loosen her grasp on the book at all, she thrashes around, but is not, as you can see, creatures on all sides of her are rearing up to make attacks, it looks like. And please roll a d6 for me, Maliath.
Hey, one. Just 1d6?
Just 1d6. All right. Does not recharge its fire breath.
I was suspicious about that, but okay.
All right, and it is going to make an attack against her.
Bruce. Oh.
2 ram attacks. Let me just check her AC. Okay, here we go. Here's one. 8 will not hit. And one more. 22 well, as it slams into her her back as she's still sort of shielding the book. And with that, she goes unconscious in your arms. Alright, and that will do it for that. Goliath, you are up.
Goliath will look over at Olive, wink, drop the girl, but pick up the book,
Alright.
and let's see how this turns out. 5-foot step would provoke if the armors are hate me.
Let me make a roll here. Actually, no, they don't appear to be all that sort of, cognizant of what's going on.
Excellent. That was 1. I move again. 2. 3, 4. Excuse me. 5 and 6.
All right.
Actually, I suppose I should make more room for others. So I'll take the double action. 1, 2.
Okie dokie. You're like,
Then I
all
waved
around
the book. I waved the book at Olive. Come on,
All right.
Olive. Olive.
The ferryman sticks his pole down into the water and appears about ready to cast off. Emily will slide forward in the boat a bit, making room for others. All of you are up. More clanking coming from above you.
All right. Olive is going to. Can I move through Groost?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It is possible.
Olive is going to try. She's. Oh fuck. She's trying to bring Gilda through here.
Oh, sir.
Is it possible for you to move through the square of the unconscious person?
Yeah. Am I able to move through there or no?
Right now it's just difficult terrain.
All right. So that's 2 movements,
Yep.
right? Okay. All right. I am going to move through there with the girl.
All right. I'm going through.
Oh, actually, I will take the dash action and move further with her if I
Okay.
can.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Alright. And the boat tips over because you're all on the same side.
Ah!
Alright.
I
Zahara,
knew you
you
were
are up.
tipsy.
I am going to boop and shut Groost.
What?
You're making me stressed. Come here.
I have little legs. What do you want from me?
Even faster.
I can't.
Olive's like, I did it.
I go,
Who's this? Who's
Olive, good Olive, and then I give you the book.
Alright. They
And a
pick
treat.
up the body and begin sort of dragging it this way, back towards, not in any sort of, careful fashion, just sort of bouncing and contorting over things, is pretty bloodied and burnt. You can see that, chunks of burnt skin are just, open wounds and such. So it's just leaving quite a trail behind it. And that will do it for them. As looks like the Sentinel is focused right on you, Groost. What would you like to do?
Don't mind me, Mr. Sentinel. I'm just your friendly neighborhood goblin. 5. Disengage with my bonus action. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Dash. 40, 45.
All right.
Hello,
As soon
friends.
as you are on board, the ferryman pushes off. The boat begins to sail away as you can hear the clattering slowly begin to subside, and the Sentinel stays for a few moments as you all sort of head off down river, and then returns to its original position there as the body is dragged back into the underworld. And you find yourself catching your breath and in a slow, dark sail back upriver.
Casting this on myself.
Nice. With a book in hand and one more person than you started with.
Hello, Gilda. I'm Ghost.
Oh, hi.
Hi. How are you feeling?
Terrified?
Okay. Me too.
At a certain point, you do become
Start
numb to it.
screaming again.
So,
Who are you?
so your dad hired us to get you back from the door to the underworld.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Did he not want to come?
Well, I don't know how to put this, so I'll put it insensitively. He's
Oh,
dead.
no.
What?
It was tragic. There was just, a series of unfortunate circumstances that nobody could have foreseen.
There
But-
was an apogee event due to the balance of life and death being thrown out of balance, lot of crows, and unfortunately your father did pass on, but we felt that it was important to fulfill his last wishes and bring you back to the land of the living.
Oh. Okay.
I know it's a lot.
I'm just picturing her kind of laying down the boat and having 6 heads, or like however many heads, over her watching this, having this conversation.
Because it's the 4 of us, and then Emily, and then off in the distance there's the eerie skull head of the ferryman, and then I like to imagine that Eloise's little head comes up out of the bag.
Oh yeah.
This is Eloise. Eloise says hello.
We think that she's grown out of trying to eat people, but
No.
it's a little unclear.
So here we are.
So,
That's the ferryman. This is Emily.
Yeah. So,
Lovely weather we're having.
hate this part. It's gonna be a long walk home. Oh yeah, did you live in that big metal man?
The house. Yeah. Yes, it's my father.
Yes. Okay, so don't know how to put this either. Some cats, some cats robbed you.
Not like cats, but like tabaxi, like you know,
Scavengers.
cat people, not like just stray street cats.
So,
Um,
my father's been dead a while, and they took the derelict property.
well, they took the things inside it, like the prophecies.
Huh.
One moment, I must sneeze.
Scrooge just turns around and sneezes just explosively into the river of death.
And it echoes through the cavern.
Jesus.
What's Jesus?
It's McGlubiot's brother, lesser known.
Am I dead?
No,
Is this some sort
you're.
of punishment?
No, although I understand how you could come to that conclusion.
So, my understanding was there was some prophecy that your father wanted to avoid. You had some sickness, and we healed you with a magical plant. Or not. We really have no way of knowing. And we woke you from your slumber at death's door, and here we are.
And just to be clear, we do not take any responsibility if your continued existence does happen to cause another apogee event.
If it comes up, I will help you because we're friends.
Olive takes
but-
out a tin of those like butter cookies, like the ones in that like blue type.
On the-
Yeah.
On
Cookie?
the river to hell in the boat of death. You're like, Cookie?
Just to be clear, legally we cannot be held liable if a storm of death-omen birds descends from the heavens and tries to kill you to restore balance to the universe.
I hold
What?
the tin out to the ferryman.
He just like
ignore-
reaches down and like takes one. The crumbs just like fall out. Into his
Snickerdoodle.
robes. He just sort of
It's good. It's
brushes
good to
it
be
off.
appreciated.
I have a feeling we might be overloading her with things.
Oh, do you think Groose?
Sometimes. So, yeah. We're gonna take you back home. How old are you? Can you live by yourself?
Looking at her, she looks probably like in her, early 20s.
Oh.
So if
So,
Just
so
barely.
just barely.
It's a little unclear.
we have fun.
She just stares up and several times just like tries to say something and then just stops as you slowly plod up the river.
So, do you have any information to give us?
I'm just still wiping soot off of my armor.
Who was that came out of the
Don't know. We should read that book.
Yeah,
what book?
I would like to get a little further from the door before I open this, perhaps. And Olive is like clutching it. She does look at the cover and the binding and stuff like that to see if
I wanted to help her.
Labeled.
But Mr. Ferryman said that the one rule is nobody can come out of the underworld. So I didn't want to break that rule, because I respect Mr. Ferryman. He's very nice and kind. So unfortunately, we took her book and she went back to the underworld.
Why didn't you help her?
Well, because if we did that, you would probably have died, and we would probably have died, or we would have lost our ride home, in which point we would have died, making this all for nothing.
You don't want to make enemies of those who are powerful enough to place guardians at the gates. to the underworld.
Yes. We had a different objective.
Also, I did not know if she could pay for the boat, and the gold is paramount importance.
We have you covered, though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I would have paid her.
Well, I don't know if she would have been allowed on the boat, even if there was money, because a ferryman said not to break that wall. And if we broke the wall, we'd probably know. Our contract is null and void, and we get stabbed to death.
I look up at the ferryman. That was what it was, right?
He just sort of like nods and takes out the oar, and you can see there's like a blade on the side of the oar.
Right. So that's the reason why we did it.
Yeah.
Buttercookies falling from his face.
I've
Just like desiccated tongue comes out and like.
in our brief association and friendship, dare I say, I have learned to have a healthy respect for the ferryman.
He is a good man.
It's like
He is probably neither of those things.
His heart grew 5 times that day.
And after a lot of awkward, silent pauses and conversation, you do start to crest out of the mouth of the cave. It is sort of late evening now.
we do know this is Gilda, right? It's not like a different. Oh no!
Different halfling that was buried in bones outside of Death's Door.
It's just like 7 or 8 of them over there.
So you pull
Just
up,
all piled on
pull
top
up
of
to
each other.
the dock. The ferryman sort of slides the chest that's sitting there that has the various payment in. Begins to go through it and pulls out a small sort of velvet bag and piles a bunch of things into it,
Royal.
and then puts it down on the seat. This is the overpayment.
Thanks.
Oh. Thank you.
Yoink.
So he takes out exactly 2,500 in gold.
500 extra, eh?
And
It's
I
big.
also got a cool sword.
Ooh.
But
Wow,
it's my cool sword.
it's been a pleasure, Mr. Ferryman.
How many hours did it take to come back up the river?
It was a little bit slower, so it probably that process probably took about 2 hours. Took a little less going in. 'Cause there
May
was
I
flow
apply a
in.
short rest during that?
Yes, I will say definitely.
I'd like to use arcane recovery during that time as well. If we're doing that.
I would like to do nothing because I gained nothing from a short rest.
Yeah. Get off the boat. Thank you. Leave.
Bruce would
leave.
give the ferryman a hug and get off the boat. If ever you need help or someone to talk to, just come find me.
For a nominal fee, we will put you in a carriage and bring you across land.
See,
I
it's a
get-
carriage. It's like a boat, but not.
I do
He-
leave him a few more cookies.
He's a ferryman. He's not 6. I'm sure he knows what a carriage is.
You might be 6.
What? Bye. Quist.
So it took
We all get out.
quite a few days to get here. We should make haste. We didn't run into much, but we did happen to see a very prominent-looking drow. And if there is a prominent drow, that means there's likely the non-prominent drow nearby. What is exit stage left even?
Yeah. I agree.
Gilda does just sort of follow along with you. Doesn't really have any belongings. She's like a little bit overdressed. She's dressed like you would dress somebody that you're like, gonna put in a coffin. Kind of Sunday best type attire.
Tuxedo t-shirt. I get it.
And we will pause so you can all contemplate what goes next for a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Welcome back. Slow Jams. The Everything is Dead and Your Life Has Been Stolen playlist. Coming at you. Kevin MacLeod, you certainly do have mood for everything.
Thanks, Coaster.
This was Thunder Dreams. We've disembarked the dock, and I assume head back townward. Where are you going?
I mean, Gilda, do you want to go back to your home?
It would be nice. See if there's anything there. That wasn't my. It was only our. Well, one of Father's several homes. He was a very wealthy man. His main house was in Nasrael, but he found it was much easier to study and pursue his prophecies there. So he found that spot near Crennel Bend and was kind of tickled by its peculiar nature, I suppose. And slowly his prophecies became his small obsession, and we spent most of our time there.
So that's your choice. Is to go there.
Well, it'll be on the way. I'm not quite ready for a trip all the way to Nasrael now.
Okay.
Not with summer approaching, at least.
So did we have any other things that we were gonna do, or was this kind of like the main focus, and then we were gonna figure out what to do next?
Probably that.
Okay.
Well, we have.
Sure,
Well,
we've
one
ever
thing
had a life plan.
we have to get our money first.
Oh, right. From Caspian.
Correct.
Well, then, yeah, we will take you back to your robot home.
Unless you would like to go somewhere else.
No, I'd like to see if there's anything left from what you've described. I mean, there were a lot of prophecies there. Most of them were gibberish, but a while back I did employ a diviner as a gift to my father, who enchanted much of the parchment that he used to scroll down his notes and prophecies, and in an effort to sort of police his life's work from, getting too disseminated out into the world. The diviner enchanted the parchment to deteriorate if words not connected or laced with some sort of prophetic magics were written on them, so that his berry wine-induced ramblings might not send people on lifelong chases for things that didn't happen.
There's
So
so be in for a rough surprise then.
I mean, don't get me wrong, his work was an honorable toil, and there was a lot of valid prophecies that he recorded, but he insisted on trying them all in many different languages and thoroughly translated them back and forth between them several times before he found whatever language he viewed as the correct one for the prophecy. Led to errors in translation and such.
Did you say deteriorate as in the books themselves would likely be fall apart or even completely disintegrate?
They will, yes, crumble as if aged.
How quickly would that occur if that were to be triggered by a company of mercenaries who would be very vexed if their newly stolen goods were once again ruined or missing.
Days, perhaps?
I see, I see.
So that's gonna.
Aha.
I mean, they can't really blame us for.
Oh, no, no,
Oh,
they
they
shouldn't
will.
blame us.
They
However, we were happy to let them take everything so that we did not have to fight them at the time. And they may indeed see this as a trap that we've laid for them.
And you said collect your payment. My father paid you in gold?
No.
Prophecies? He did most of his dealings through his prophecies.
Oh, actually, he did pay us some prophecies, yes. But that's not what we were referring to.
Am I indebted to you?
No.
Only morally.
No, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's a wash.
It's
It's
friendship.
really a wash.
It's friendship, not some kind of debt.
No, Bruce, that's not
You're
what friendship
indebted
is.
to each other.
Bruce,
Emotionally.
no, you're just friends.
Maybe you're just friends. Friendship to me is something greater.
No, what you've just described is bad.
Something fiscal.
Sahara, you are Gru's best friend after all.
It's
Yes,
true.
and now apparently I'm in debt to him. I don't know how to feel about this.
Well, have you enjoyed being my friend?
Yes,
Well, there you go.
That's worth
I
some
don't.
money.
I don't understand. I'm not following this logic.
Okay, right. If I'm in big trouble, and there's someone trying to kill me, you try and save me, right?
Sure.
And if you're in big trouble, I try and save you. Because our
Okay.
friendship, because we're indebted to each other, because of friendship.
Or
Friendship.
when you decide to be friends with somebody, it means that you're willing to do things on if we insist on the fiscal metaphor on credit.
Well, no, but like the friendship is so good and so enjoyable that you're like, wow, because the friendship has been so good and enjoyable, I need to go and save this person. Right?
Yes.
So we are emotionally indebted to each other.
I
Good
think you're
day.
wrong, but I don't know enough about emotions to dispute it.
Good day. Chris calls over his shoulder.
Regardless, we'll head to Kettle Bend, see if our benefactor has collected. They said it would be just a short period of time. And then we'll move on to see if there's anything left that may have been ransacked. But we should take extra care not to be waylaid or ambushed by those who are vexed by books that have broken, if they've broken in their possession.
Yeah, I'm going to, now that we've had this conversation, I'm going to try to keep an active eye out for cats.
Alright. Give me an
They're like,
active perception
they're like
roll.
sitting on our shoulder. What?
How did you get here? Perception. No.
Alright.
10.
Keeping an active eye out. No cats here.
We're safe.
When we get on our first day of travel, when we get to a point where we are kind of like settling in and we've kind of feel like we've had some distance, that is when I would like to look at the book and investigate it. And I would ask my party to kind of be on the lookout as I'm doing this.
Alright. Looking it over, it is a very ornate book.
Minimal fire, blood, and guts damage.
Yeah, it has absolutely no damage to it. Clearly magical in nature. Are you doing anything magically to this, or are you just looking it over?
I'm just looking it over, but if I open it and I find it's a language that I don't know, I would like to cast Comprehend Languages so I can read it.
Right. You do notice that the book itself is locked shut.
Okay.
It has sort of bindings that sort of come up over it vertically, and then one that wraps around horizontally. And in the center, there's this weird sort of diamond, sort of triangular shaped sort of indent in whatever mechanism or metallic piece that all of these binding straps. And the straps themselves look like they're made of some very kind of thick, ornate ribbon in this sort of deep bluish purple. And the outside of the book has it's a bluish purple leather over it, with the corners kind of reinforced with gold pieces that have aged a little bit, and then there's kind of like white bordered filigree drawings on it. No writing on it, but looks like maybe like faint drawings of like sort of like a almost like a cosmos type thing, and lines connecting different pieces and all of that.
Does anybody know how to pick a lock?
Yes. Of course I do. Who doesn't know how to pick a lock?
Probably a lot of people.
Listen,
How do you people live?
I usually always had keys to things at the keep, so I never had to pick.
People don't give me keys to things. Is this going to blow up in my face if I pick the lock on it? This is like magic shit.
Probably.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and on the book to see, like also paying attention to seeing what kind of magics are on the lock. I'm gonna do that as my quick action for my Order of the Scribes.
The book is indeed magical. It glows of. Let me just double check.
Enchantment.
Actually, conjuration. All of it gives you a very strong sense of conjuration magic.
So, good news. No necromancy or evocation, so it's not gonna,
The lock does have abjuration on it.
blow. Okay.
But
blow up in
the
your-
book itself is conjuration.
Okay. But still, no necromancy. That's a good thing. So, actually, can I cast Dispel Magic on the lock?
You can certainly try.
All right. I would like to try.
All right. I will need a roll.
Okay. Do I add my mod to that?
Free. Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. So this is just an intelligence ability check.
Okay. That would be a 12.
All right. Casting it on the lock itself, it kind of glows and sparks a little bit, sort of like arcing back at you with a little blast of lightning. Not enough to do any damage, but doesn't appear like it liked that.
Feign death so she could drink the elixir without a skill challenge. Okay,
Well,
sorry.
I mean, I can try to pick this, but
Well,
in my experience, when somebody's cast this sort of magic on a lock, it makes it a lot harder to pick. I'm good, but
yeah. I mean, you could try if you want to, but I think that it's a magic lock, maybe not just a picky lock.
Looking at it, there is no like keyhole. So it's not like a stick your lockpicks in and pick it. It's just this thing that seems to be binding it all together, and it all is connected in this one sort of recessed in.
so Not really my thing.
Okay.
We are going to
You
go
have-
buy
you have regular
Chavia's,
locks.
who might have a lot more insight than we would.
I thought
If she's
Shavia
still there.
just sort of fucked off.
I don't think she likes us. Well, I don't think she likes you guys.
Okay. So I take the book and I put it in my book straps next to Cosima, my spell book, and I'm like, well, we've got company. I still love you more, and I strap it in with her.
All right. Hot book on book action. Fade to black. What would you guys like to do?
You just invented fanfic.
I think making our way back to Colonel Ben, keeping an eye out for Tabaxi the whole time.
All right. Any of you who wish to actively perceive may do so.
Can I actively perceive again, or have I done
Nope,
my actively
you've done
perception?
yours.
Okay.
But did you look over that way? I say, by looking over that way.
I rolled an 18.
What about this way?
All right. At one point, once you get kind of within like the last day's travel of Krenel Bend, both Maliath and Groost, you do seem to get a pretty good idea that you are sort of being shadowed and followed by something that moves, incredibly quietly and agilely, although it never gets close enough for you to ID.
I got this. I got this. Psst, 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 psst. Psst, psst, psst. This works, trust me.
We have
I would love it if your cat actually leaped up onto you as you did that.
My cat is currently still quarantined in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Rip.
But tomorrow's the day. She gets to be free.
Nice.
Good.
Free Portia. Cat does not come.
Must be a dog. All right, let's go.
The dog backsy. God, please don't make that. Please, DM skills don't. All right, and you find your way back to Krenel Bend. Easy enough.
Emily has just stayed with us this whole time, just for the ride.
Has come back. Yes.
During this time, as she just kind of montaging the travel, has she offered any more of herself? I think Olive might try to make just occasional small talk because she's still kind of a mystery.
She doesn't give you the small talk. Usually dead ends pretty fast. If you have specific questions, you can feel free to ask them of her. But you get the sense she's not really a chatty Cathy.
That's right, because her name is not Kathy.
Not a chatty Emily.
What's your 5-year plan?
I don't really have a 5-day plan.
Oh, okay.
You consider a job in banking.
No.
To be fair, I don't know if we have a 5-day plan.
You don't. I've been with you for more than 5 days, and there's clearly
kind of take things 5 hours at a time, actually.
Yeah. All right. Butter cookie?
No, God, we've been eating those for weeks.
No, what?
Listen, when you don't have access to a kitchen, you have to deal with what you have. Once I get a kitchen, I'll make anything you want.
You even butter cookies?
I won't make them again. Maybe I'll make ginger snaps. She puts the tin away.
I should keep the 10.
Always keep the tin. Where do you think I'm going to put
Just
my sewing
disappears.
supplies?
So this traveling thing sort of sucks.
We can
Oh,
fast forward
one-
to Krenel Bend unless there's anything else
One other
journey-wise
thing-
you're looking for.
One other thing I would like to do while we're traveling is I would like to make a detailed map of what we saw of the river and the gate.
Okay. Give me a cartography tools check.
What skill would you like me to use?
Cartography tools.
What skill would you like me to use?
Cartography tools. You're making a map. You need
Yeah, but which-
cartography
what-
tools.
Yeah,
I have the
but-
cartography tools.
Right,
What
what she's-
attribute do you want me to use?
Yeah, it when you add cartography tools to your thing,
Constitution.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I doing
Do you have the stamina to draw that much?
I have the
Can I use
stamina to
intelligence
continue
for
that.
it?
Oh, so you mean you could pick the ability and just make the roll? That's crazy. Why don't we do that?
Oh, so we can arbitrarily pick any ability score we want in the future? Great. I'm
Not
gonna
what
make
I
use.
said at all.
I'm gonna make use of this.
All right, so you managed to make a map of what do you think is pretty good of the River of Death.
It's one line.
With like a door at the end of it.
Treasure here.
So let's go to the main square, see if our friend is easily accessible from there. I'll check. We'll check also the. I wonder how the College of Circus Animal Place is doing without its benefactor owner,
Well, all the animals were
manager
there,
at
right?
least. Yes, but also with the passing of that the one that had a title.
Baroness Lindsay.
It'll
So-
just be interesting to see if it's been reopened under some of the new management.
Returning back to Krenel Bend, you are not in the town for not but 15 or 20 minutes. As a familiar face, your head of security, Caspian, comes sort of
My
jogging
favorite security.
jogging up to all of you, stops for a moment to kind of catch his breath. Well, welcome back. I heard that you were in town. Word travels fast. Checking every day, asking around. Welcome back. Your if I
Whatever
were
you're
to have
about to
gotten
say.
something for you, it would be very secure right now. Not that I have anything incredibly valuable for you.
Okay.
It is not. It's definitely not at the.
Nope.
That wouldn't be where I put it.
I
But
shove a
it's-
butter cookie in
it's
his
good.
mouth.
They're delicious. I could eat
I
these
know.
like every day, like weeks.
No, you couldn't.
Well, it's good to be back. Have you here? I see you. Are you the dead one, little lady?
Yes.
Who's this? I'm sorry. That my name is Caspian. I'm their head of security. I kind of,
I'm a
hold
head of
down.
security.
Hold down the fort while they're off doing things. This was sort of a trial period, but we've done a great job keeping their copious stash of money that was recently paid to them safe. And I think it should
Just to be clear, I've been effectively homeless for like the past 10 years of my life. Why do I have a head of security?
You're very insecure.
I'm
It's-
really not.
It's true. She is.
All right. Well, it's good that you're not dead anymore. That seems like a drag. Yeah, sorry about your dad. Yeah. Well, good times. Well, if you we're staying at the big room at the inn across town. Perching
Show
parakeet.
us.
Yeah, come on. I'll definitely walk there in a circuitous path so no one can follow us. Yeah, let's head through the busy market first and reacquaint ourselves with Colonel Bend in a casual manner. Everybody look cool.
We're gonna get burgled by cats. It's gonna be
Bruce starts to
assault.
swagger.
Yeah, Olive puffs up a little bit but does not look cool.
Yeah, they call me Cool Groost.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone call you that, Bruce.
How does that differ from regular grist?
This is why you're my best friend.
Yes, it is.
Alright, so, Perching Parakeet, here we are. We got a fairly large room, just because they didn't have anything else at the time. I know it's completely vacant other than us. Now, I don't think that's... it's easier for security that way. Yeah, everything's... everything that I
the company credit card. I see.
didn't receive for you
It's
is
not
here.
you. It's as good as money.
Yeah, come on up and it's all here, all yours.
Is Ondine up there?
Yeah.
Any more bird death cyclones?
No, they seem to have cleared out. You know, you never can tell the weather around here in Grenell Bend, right? Am I right? With the birds and the storm. No, it's been pretty dry. It's usually dry this time of year. Not like obscenely so, like not like out west, but it's been good. No more death storms. So I think that's probably over. It's probably not going to come back. You guys did a good job, whatever you did. Yeah, things have been pretty quiet. Haven't heard from Shavia, though. Not like I'm expecting her to, you know, send a message or something, but it would be nice, you know, occasionally to hear from her. She's not about town all that much. Didn't really go sticking my head into her business or anything, so it's still good. Chipmunks are still there. They seem happy, so she hasn't kicked them out. So, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Aspen, please stop saying things like that because it makes me experience emotions and I don't like that.
I'm very tired.
All right. Well, there are beds in this room that we have secured for your money. So you can sleep on the money. You can sleep on the bed. We've done both. Both have their merits. Great.
the
Well,
money?
I'll let you all be. If there's anything you need from your head of security and your Ondine, let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Good to have you all back.
I missed you.
What?
He's like a little nephew I never had, you know.
The room
I
is
also never had him.
pretty large. There's it's sort of a suite setup. There are 3 bedrooms, a kind of common area, and a latrine just down the hall. Seems like, you know, a nice little rental apartment, essentially. And neatly stacked over in one corner of the common area is a couple of chests with all of your payment.
Huzzah.
How much was in there?
Whatever was promised to you.
5,000.
Penny
Oh,
gift
wow.
in exchange for 5,000 gold. So we'll say there are 5 chests with 1,000 gold each.
We are rich.
Of which 4,999 has already been spent by.
Oh, we are rich.
No, just kidding. He only spent 4,998.
We are rich.
Yeah.
I'm so close now. So close.
So, do you, Oh, we didn't drop off, what's her face to her house before we came here.
Hilda, the
Hilda,
friend we've
thank
made
you.
and have been talking to daily for the last month.
Yeah, the plan
Yeah.
was to come here first, take care of what we needed to, secure this stuff. And then, yeah, indeed, go over to the house with her.
Yes.
Before we do that, though, I do have a request. I'm about 110 gold short of plate mail with my 1/5 of this. Anybody want to?
I'm happy to give you the gold you need, and you pay me back whenever you're ready.
I will pay you back with healing, and then some.
I'm okay with you taking some from the.
Or the party loot. That would work too.
It is in all of our best interests if you are harder to hit.
I'm glad that it aligns with your interests as well. It is one of my primary interests is not to be struck by the damage of things.
So how is this getting split?
Equally.
Yeah.
Or inequally.
So the 5,000 and 500 equally.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that puts me at only like 20 gold away then, or 10 gold.
Okay.
Forgot about that extra 100. That's true.
All right.
So I'd like to stop on the way out with my share and order me some handy dandy plate mail.
All right. The smith in town is quite capable and takes your measurements and such. And in a few days' time.
I'm exceedingly ticklish, so I giggled the whole time.
All right. We will see how good your armor fits then later.
It's just good enough to be mechanically plate mail. I'll be happy.
Yeah. It just chafes a little bit. So, this one greave is a little too loose, but beyond that, it's great. So yeah, in a few days' time, that will be there. Please account for the expenditure of moolah.
Okay, so I'll take my 1,000 and never record it on my character sheet. And then I'll take the 489 I had and remove that entirely. And I will need 11. 11 gold from the party loot, please.
I will front you 11 gold from my personal cash.
Danke. I would maybe like 20 gold so that I may have 9 gold in which to make
I will give you 20 gold.
purchases,
I don't have anything specific I'm using my cash for. At the moment.
snacks.
The other thing
Delights
that I don't
love
think we
potato
divvied up,
chips.
if we want to divvy it up, was we got a 50 platinum front from Dew that we have not accounted for in this.
Oh, the 50 platinum
that
front
would've
would have been into the
Involved,
total.
right.
Okay, great. No, cool. Then I'm gonna delete that from the party loot.
And we had 500 from there was leftover. There was extra gold that we scooped, right?
Yes, that is the 13.
And that was included in what we just did.
Yes. Yep. So kind of party funds is 1 gold piece and 3 large rubies worth 50 gold each.
If you are all carrying around 1,000 gold plus on you, I will need to know how you plan to carry this.
I think what we should
only
do
10
is
pounds.
first of all, we should get Goliath diamonds.
I have different.
Like
being
boots,
a wizard,
like diamond-studded boots.
Yeah, you're gonna spend your cash.
Yes.
The only thing that like in terms of like stuff that Zahara needs, like we're at the point where I would start needing to get like enchanted armor, in order to up my armor class. And I don't know if that's available, but I also think it's out of our price range at the moment.
So
On
I
the
don't
nose.
necessarily need to bookkeep this. And we can. Well, I guess like I can bookkeep what I would do like out of game, but Olive would like to spend a lot on spell scrolls, so she wouldn't be carrying an excess, of 1,000 gold with her.
So there are no places that sell spell scrolls.
Oh, there aren't.
Currently.
Okay.
We also could just invest in a bag of holding.
How much would a bag of holding cost?
I don't know off the top of my head. It's an uncommon magical item, I believe.
And then, Groost, what is your armor situation right now?
I would like half plate.
And how much does half plate cost?
750 gold.
Are you planning on purchasing that? Do you need financial support from the rest of the party?
Goose will be purchasing this. Goose can afford it.
And we already settled that Olive can't do armor. Olive was gonna do special armor.
We
I
can't
don't think they-
afford
Right.
the rare.
We can't afford the we can't
elven
afford the armor
chain.
that we need for Olive.
It's great though. It's a great.
Can Olive? Would there be the components? Like, can I basically like front the cost for copying the spells into my book, like buying the inks and paper, so that way when I do acquire some spells, I don't think I'm going to do the full 1,000 on that, but part of it.
Yes, just make note of how much you have sort of changed into.
Okay,
whatever,
all right.
So you can do that.
But is there a place to buy diamonds here?
You can buy some diamonds, although any sort of luxury goods are very much shipped out to Nas Royale. So there is a bit of a dearth on any sort of luxury items like jewels and all of that. So there are some. You can't like do too much. I will say that you can get about 500 gold worth of diamonds, and that cleans out like everything that you can find in the town.
And Bruce, does that seem like something we should do?
Well, 300 would be very nice for one person. I would agree that that's smart to have, even if it's just currency for someone else as a standby and just in case.
Okay. Do we want to do the full 500?
It would make it easier if we come across some more diamonds.
Yeah. All right. Then I'm gonna pay for that. I'm gonna get those 500 in diamonds, and I'm gonna give, I guess, I'll give the 300 one to Maliath and the 200 one to Groove. Should I give them all to Maliath? I should give them all to Maliath. Probably.
I'll take 500 gold pieces of not my gold as 500 gold pieces worth of diamonds.
Okay. Unless, Beth, do you feel strongly that Groose should have diamonds?
Not currently. If in the future we feel
We have extras.
Have double revivify people, then sure.
Okay. So then I'm subtracting 500 gold from my personal.
I have 9 extra gold if you need it.
That's okay. You're good. So you now have 500 gold worth of diamonds on you. What would be the price on a bag of holding?
Roll me a d8.
Boy. One.
550 gold pieces.
Okay. I will also pay for that. 550 for a backpack of holding.
It is something that is produced and shipped in, as this is a traveling town, so it's not uncommon for people to use them.
So I'm removing another 550. Who do we want to give this to?
I think
Quick DM tip for those of you out there. If you ever don't want to plan part of a session, just give the party a little bit of money and put them in town.
I will do the bookkeeping on my components and stuff outside of this because I can't wrap my brain around that right now. But I will probably be putting some of that excess gold in the bag.
So do you guys want me to keep the bag of holding?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So bag of holding.
And please keep a list of something that shows what all is in the bag of holding. If at any point the bag of holding is no longer in your
Bins to
possession,
disappear.
we will know.
Do we want to just say that the party loot is?
We'll just make another subheading. You know, this is
Subheading,
bag of
okay.
holding.
We could
Yeah.
just say the party loot. Why would we carry anything else in there?
Just say the party loot.
Because right now, well, some of this stuff is with people, so
Just note what is next to people on it, and if it's not noted as being with somebody, then it's automatically in the party loot,
yeah.
or it's automatically in the bag of holding.
All right, so
I will
we
rule
sold.
as unfavorably as possible if there's ever comes to
Oh, I
a
know.
problem.
I know.
All right, so the cloak of Elvenkind got sold, correct?
Incorrect. That is in my
Oh.
possession.
You did not sell that.
The
I was
quarterstaff
gonna
is
use
with,
it to barter with the drow if that things went bad.
+1 quarterstaff is with Groost.
Yes.
This seems like
Game of
something we
Flames
can
is-
do not during the session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Correct.
Cool. Let's all count to 100 by 1, and then again by prime numbers only. That'll probably fill out the rest of the time. 1,
2, 3,
Seven.
7. No, 5, 7,
7.
Free, sir.
Se-
Free. 5.
7 again.
11.
7 again.
13, 17, 19.
24.
24 is not a prime number.
I'm
Um,
aware.
Sorry, you work in a bank.
Sorry, pardon, but which part of my responsibilities at the bank do you think involves prime numbers?
All
How
right.
would I know? I don't work in a bank.
So after returning back, going shopping, what would you like to do?
One last question. It's a quick one. How long will it take for my armor to be ready?
Roll a d6. Three days.
Ah!
So we should go comatose or something for a few days, and then
We need to take
she can
Gilda
wait
back.
a few more days. She's been dead on the doorstep.
Gilda's in town. It's in town.
All right, let's go.
You can sit outside the armor smith if you wish.
It's not going to make the 3 days go by any faster. All right. So what would you like to do?
Take Gilda back to her home.
All right. Easy enough to find your way there. You arrive back in that sort of derelict, very large, hollowed out construct form that sort of lays half submerged in the swamp. First thing that strikes you immediately is there is no more flour there. Upon sort of finding your way back in, there is not much left in terms of belongings. There's some personal effects and such, but a lot of it has been cleaned out. Going through the prophecy room lies pretty much torn asunder, and the pile of rejects in the corner remains, but you would say probably about 75 to 80% of the stuff that was in there has been taken.
Gilda, you alright?
She's our head of security.
Not exactly, filled with cash at the moment. And honestly,
either.
there's not much left to secure, so I'll probably head west on the next caravan.
Do you need cash in order to do that? We can front you some.
I don't anticipate ever seeing you again.
It's a gift between friends.
Well, it's different than fronting. I mean, if you wish to give me gold, of course. I was just going to pay them when I arrived.
I'm gonna give her, what do you think, like 50 gold? What's an appropriate amount of money to give to somebody going on a trip?
Sorry, we didn't stop your dad from dying.
Sorry. What's the appropriate amount of money to give to somebody to be like, sorry, we didn't stop your dad from dying and also sold off part of your house?
But we brought you back to life, so here you are. I don't know.
We didn't sell off part of the house. They
Well,
took
we sold
that.
off the flower. 50 gold. I'll give her 50 gold.
Okay.
Here, we
Flower
made
was outside the
5,000
house.
gold from selling your father's property.
And here's 50
Here's
of it.
50.
But you can't own nature, so that's not really property. It's just a flower.
She seems to fairly quickly collect anything that she wants, and sort of goes back into the prophecy room chamber with a candle, and she just sort of like takes a page and then lights it and then puts it in the pile of all of the other prophecies, and things slowly catch fire, and the fire slowly builds, and the room very quickly, as she climbs out, is filled with fire.
Oh, some warning would have been nice. Start climbing out.
As
Beacon
Olive
of
burns to
Amandine
death.
is lit.
Yeah.
Well, prophecies are all out in the world now. I hope they bring people as much joy as they brought my father.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, thank you for all your help. Perhaps
You're
if
welcome.
you're in Nosrael someday, you can come find me.
This is the place across the desert?
Yes.
Won't be
Paradise
too far.
Oasis.
Is that where the library was?
I thought the library was a separate place.
There are libraries in Nosrael, yes.
Oh, sorry. Olive thinking in her head to when Dew was talking about the library.
You don't know where the library is. They don't tell people where it is.
Okay.
You know,
It's in Nosrael, 100%.
You know vaguely that it is somewhere like to the west, in the desert, but exact location unknown. Very secret, hush hush, need to know basis.
Wink, wink, nudge it. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a few days, we should also head toward the desert. That was our original plan before this halfling
Well,
with prophecies led us.
Our
What about
options
the-
are the desert or to that place where the drow place.
Oh, you mean the blood?
Crimson Citadel.
Sanguine Citadel.
Sanguine Citadel.
Yeah, the blood tower. That's not fun for me. I don't think.
The blood tower.
So you have an unknown book that is locked. You have a prophecy that you got 5 or 6 sessions ago and still haven't looked at.
You're gonna be destined to go up a river. What? Who did that?
You will go to Death's Door. Wow, how did Casey know this all ahead of time? You have an Emily, a Caspian, and an Ondine in your camp, so to speak.
Oh, this is like BG3. They're just hanging out, just laying on mats.
Like
I wish I could do
storyline.
something.
Um,
We'll go talk to him for 3 seconds, then never talk to him for a month.
Half of them dislike it when you say anything at all.
Yeah,
The other half hate it if you say the other thing.
and you could tell they dislike it from across camp.
Mm.
and Shavia's estate is still there. And you have wild, exciting desert out to the west, the wildlands filled with ruins and such to the north, a group of curious kitties that will certainly never be heard from again.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
Voting time.
I still like the idea of going to Nasriel. Also, always pro Drow.
Dory, you're currently listing multiple things. Pick one. Which
I'm Nasriel.
Azrael. Olive.
Nazrael Endgame, if we're still in town waiting for this armor to get made, Shavia's estate would be interesting. Doesn't take us too far from here. Because right now we're on day 1 of 3 days of waiting.
Well, notably, if we go searching out for something to do here, something to do here will come. So do we want to do something here, or do we want to do something there?
Not for 3 days, we don't.
Right. I mean, yes, we could, like...
You can certainly go to Shavia's without disrupting the overall course and arc of the campaign.
Right.
You meet a stranger on the street. Boy, does he have a deal for you. His daughter's sick on death's door. Literally. I don't have any other good puns like that.
The father of the person who tried to escape. Could you save? Oh.
So,
I just got what you said. Yeah.
I chokeslammed her back into the Hades.
oh yeah, and there's the mysterious person that came out there. All sorts of good stuff.
Yeah.
There's the whole library thing as well. All of those threads. So, Olive, you can head back to Shavia's estate if you would like. Anyone else going?
I'll join.
All right. After considerable amount of banging on the door, Shavia does answer. Bottle of wine in her hands. I thought I fired all of you.
You did.
Oh,
Have you
good.
just been sitting here drinking?
No, I walk around quite a bit.
Okay.
You know,
In like one room? Or like...
Usually in my study, yes. I think I'm finally narrowing it down. I think think those bastards at the library have most of my books, so got to figure out how to torch that place. If I can't have them, no one can. Not the kind of knowledge you want out there in the world. Anyway, so how are things going with you? Anything interesting or new?
We went to death's door.
Again?
Yes, but this time, literally.
And we all came back, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Well, live and learn. Or die and don't learn.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
There was just before we left, there was just a big storm of, ravens and dark energy heading your way. We just wanted to see if you're all right.
No, the wards took care of all of that. Wasn't for me this time, which is, a welcome surprise, I suppose.
Oh yeah, they came for Undine.
Makes sense.
Yes, they almost killed her.
But they didn't.
Yes, because of us.
Well, there you go. See, it's a good thing I fired you.
I'm not certain that's the takeaway.
This library, is there like a password to get in or something?
It's like a members-only club, I think. They like grand gestures of knowledge lack of a better word. You've got to, head to all manners and places of the world, and then pledge to share the knowledge you find there with everyone else, and that's how it works. So,
But
people
what's their
travel to all sorts of places, and find a book from here and just return it to the library, and they keep them and curate them there. So,
but what's their deal?
what do you mean?
What do they want?
They want knowledge. They want to control it, share it amongst themselves. I mean, it makes sense. Why would you share the most powerful knowledge in the world with people you don't know or trust?
Right. And they took your stuff.
Yes, there's a lot of knowledge there. Some of it is beyond them. I hope it's driven at least a few of them mad.
Well, if it was yours, I'm sure it did.
Concepts of the old world gods are a bit beyond a lot of people, but at any rate.
Glorious made the earth. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough. Small solutions for small minds.
He did it with the souls he petrified and broke them apart.
Oh,
Sprinkled
yes.
it down.
Yes, of course. And then repopulated them with more rock souls. Flawless.
Like any fertile earth, of course, life spring forth.
Right.
It's all part of Scorch's plan.
From the pure rocks that everything was made from.
Oh, that's what everything has always been made from.
Right. Yes. Good. Glad we had this discussion. I feel enlightened now.
It's glorious.
Oh, wait, that's the
Go for it.
line.
Yes.
Any new fun trinkets or anything? Tales of the Apocalypse.
Do you want a prophecy?
Why not? I haven't seen a prophecy in a while.
I hand over the prophecy that was given to me.
It's still sealed. It's in its
Yeah,
original container.
Because here's the thing,
Mint condition.
he died, so therefore,
It's self-fulfilling.
yeah, I don't know. But his thing is I didn't open it because he died.
That's...
She sort of opens it, unwraps it. Interesting. But was this written by a lunatic?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's wrong. No, he does write that most of this is probably wrong. No, this seems legitimate. Written on good stationery. That's how you know. Ornate title and all. I mean, I don't have any use for this, but it says one of the chosen will be bestowed a supreme token of protection. There you go. That's your sort of carrot, if you will.
I like carrots.
That's all it says?
Well, no, there's a whole bunch of other stuff leading up to that, but you always just skip to the end, read the last page first.
She said the name of the
She did, I got it. It's
some kind of.
I'm gonna go back and sit in my hot tub time machine.
machine.
She just sort of hands it back to you.
Okay.
Not really something that's in my interests. I don't know. It's probably indecipherable anyway.
I thought of would have been less legible. This is impressive.
Yeah, like I said, the penmanship and such is quite good, but
Yeah, mountains I like, but the rest of it, whatever.
This is very fun. Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right. So, I don't know why I felt the need to check in on you.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, right. A few ravens and some wind. Not going to bring down Amber Lake. But I do appreciate it. Do you want a bottle of wine or something for the road?
Absolutely, I do.
She hands you the half-drank bottle of wine in her hand.
Thanks.
I opened it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not get lonely in here?
No, God no.
Why not?
I generally don't like the company of other people.
Generally. But that leaves sometimes where you do.
Yes, usually those are sort of elaborate plots to find interesting or cool things. And then I hire the other people that I need.
Well, just remember that
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
can't be alone forever.
No, you really can.
No,
Actually,
you
most of the
can't.
most powerful wizards spend most of their time alone.
Which is why they all go insane and turn themselves into skeletons.
It's true. It's statistically
wizards
true.
The wizards I worked for, had they not been siblings, I'm pretty sure that's what would have happened.
Yeah. It just happens.
Isn't
You
that
either
kind of a
die
sad,
or you become a skeleton.
sad way to live your life? Chris, you do realize that everybody turns into skeletons when they die, right?
Not true.
You could be
Yeah.
petrified.
Yes.
True.
Turned
be-
dirt.
Could be eaten.
That's right.
and
Now
then
you get it.
dissolved.
Okay, all right.
Acid.
So what's up next for all of you? Are you starting up an inn and tavern in Colonel Bend?
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to cause trouble and make friends in other places.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, say, have you ever heard of the Sanguine Citadel?
Vaguely. Is that's unseemly bar in Colothune, the one with the teeth.
Yes.
I've been there a couple of times. Yes.
Drow City.
Drow City. Try not to frequent those. Unless you're looking for something, they do tend to have interesting things on hand. The Drow are always, poised to distinguish themselves amongst their peers. But alas, that whole, constant one-upsmanship is a bit tiring. With backstabbing and the front stabbing.
Side stabbing.
Yes.
We're friends with the king and the queen.
Yes.
By which we mean that Roost met them once. Very briefly.
They didn't try to eat me.
Well. Well, this is fun. We should not do this ever again.
I agree. I'm real sorry.
We're gonna force this on you at random points in time,
All right. I'll
without warning.
update the wards accordingly.
That won't stop us. We'll just dig a hole through the sky using.
She just shuts
Keep
the
saying
door.
verbs.
I think that's rather well.
I feel like we should be a little bit concerned about her drinking problem, right?
Look, she hired us for a job. We're not her therapists. If she wants to make her mistakes, she can make her mistakes.
I suppose that's true.
Much of what I say is, except when it's not.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. So, let's amble through the desert until we find something that we regret.
But only in a few days' time.
But only in a few days' time.
And we need to figure out what we're doing with Caspian and Undine.
We'll leave them with like a gold or keep them on retainer.
mean, if there's downtime, I'm gonna play some Fate Ring in the tavern and fleece those old men.
Can certainly
Sounds.
be done. Especially if Tio is playing.
Tio just believes every bluff.
Is this a good hand, guys?
I was thinking you could make fleece from his wool.
This hand is no joke. No joke.
Really, guys? It's no joke?
Thanks for the character art, Tio. So, easy enough for several days to go by, armor to be claimed. No word from the kitties. Those of you can collect your purchases. And if you plan to travel west, some things you should know from talking to people who do. Colonel Bend is the jumping off point for expeditions to the west, although they are somewhat seasonal, in that the summer season tends to be blisteringly hot and prone to windy, inhospitable weather. You are quickly approaching the summer season, so the last of the caravans are heading west, probably within a week's time from now. You can choose to go it alone and purchase the do-it-yourself maps. This is not typically something that they recommend, as it is not a straight shot across the desert, and avoiding the many savageries of the land is something better left to guides. That said, if you travel in a caravan, you are a ready target for many sort of banditry and
Sand people.
everything. They walk single file to conceal their numbers. So since there is a lot of trade goods that go, usually if things are shipped from Nosrael or to Nosrael that are trade goods, they go in pretty heavily armored convoys, things that would not be easy targets. However, even that, if succumb to a sandstorm, can be easy prey. So it's about 2 to 5 weeks of travel, depending on the weather. Sometimes if a big storm comes through, you can be just hunkered down in places there. There's not a lot of civilization between here and there that people know about. There are many fabled towns, well, not really towns, but little oases in various places. There are rumors that there are lots of magical things that are shrouded, and that's where they're kept hidden, is out in the deserts of the Scalding Wastes. And that's the sort of general rundown. Caspian, in his line of work previous to head of security for you guys, and previously to his head of security for Amber Lake, used to work as a security guard on a caravan that was returning from Nosrael. Almost everyone in that caravan died, and he was one of the sole survivors who made it through, which ended his career as caravan security, but he has worked in that industry for at least one trip.
Excellent.
So he is happy to regale you with personal stories and such of that. There is probably more detailed information to be found on different things in the desert. There are lots of old ruins and such. It is said that the Scalding Wastes was not always the Scalding Wastes. It was basically laid waste to during the wars that ended the Drake Forged era. And previously it was perhaps one of the most prosperous nations in the continent. But Shakstrar was reduced through many magics and combat into the desert wasteland that it is today.
Let's go
Okay.
west.
It's a matter of do we want to do it? Do we want a DIY or do we want a caravan with established caravans?
I feel like caravan.
Well, none of us are very great navigators, so I agree with caravan.
Yeah, we have limited survival skills, but we do have manifest fighting skills.
We have excellent survival skills. We just have bad directional skills.
So the next question then is, what has Emily been up to? Has she just been like chilling?
She's been off doing her own thing.
Because then the last like thing to wrap up is what's happening with Caspian and Ondine, and if we're doing
Emily does
anything
not seem interested in traveling west with you.
Okay. What is she doing?
I don't know. You haven't been following her around.
Crochet, maybe.
Well, I mean, because the thing that we haven't explored is if Emily has something that she wants to do that we might be able to help her with.
We click. Is there any quests here? Keep
Click,
clicking.
click, 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 click. You get the sense that she is trying to unravel some sort of uncertainty about the fate of her parents. And you get from sort of, poking around in her business a bit and where she goes. She's done a lot of talking to various people who not necessarily like deal in arcane items and such, but those who are familiar with more magic in a historical sense. She spent several trips going to the Discerning Exchange as they're sort of purveyors in items and the such. And she has taken a few day trips out of Crenel Bend to places unknown.
All right, just quick gut check from players. Do we want to see if there's a side quest with Emily and chase out this threat, or do we want to go to Nazrael?
If Emily had something for us, Emily has spent enough time with us to bring it to our attention or request it of us. I do not want to impose on Emily, although she's welcome to continue to travel with us. She proved very effective in battle and was calm and collected. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's my 2 cents. That's my 2 copper cents.
I think we can also say though, if need be, she can call us on us in the future.
So we leave a forwarding address and go to Nazrael.
Yeah.
Here's our forward address, Nazrael.
Just the weird people in Nazrael. All right, then let's go.
You need a letter of recommendation.
Oh wait, no, we need to do Caspian.
We can do
and Ondine.
that
What
for
are we doing
you.
with Caspian and Ondine?
Inform them that we're leaving. They're adults. They may find work elsewhere if they so choose.
Or can come with us to Rosreal, which is a bigger city where they might find better work. And also, Caspian has experience with the dying with the caravan.
Not experience. It's not.
I'm not sure.
had
I'm
an
not sure if that's
experience.
the kind of experience we want to bring to this trip.
He's got a lot of stories though. I want to hear them all.
He also survived, and I respect somebody that survives amongst everybody else dying around them. I wish to emulate that. The surviving
With
part.
or without the everybody around you dying part.
The surviving part. So.
Well,
Yes.
Caspian, I say as we walk into the the main room. We're going to Nazrael. What are you doing?
All right, I'll get packing.
Right.
I used to work on the
Yeah,
roads.
we know.
There,
We do.
I told
Yeah.
you this story before, I guess. It's pretty dangerous. You should, be prepared for anything. I think something like 50 to 90% of all people who travel there don't make it.
50 to 90.
It's in the brochure.
We need to buy that brochure.
Oh,
Or
you
is
didn't
it
get
free?
a brochure.
Is it a
No, they're on
pamphlet?
they're right on the desk of the place I'm not allowed in anymore.
Okay.
Right. So if we take you with us, um, is this going to create problems because nobody else is going to want you there?
No, most of my former coworkers in that industry are dead.
Great. Undine,
I
what are you
did.
doing?
I did return the most valuable piece of property, which was technically my job. Although I do feel a little bit morally depraved taking an item from someone who maybe could have been carried a few more miles. But it made it back, so that was what we were supposed to do: deliver the cargo. Um,
And who did you deliver? What was the cargo, and who did you deliver it to?
Not really sure. It was a crate, weighed somewhere 10 to 34 pounds, something like that. I carried it through most of the
Your
desert.
exactitude is incredible.
I didn't open it. That was not my job. My job was to carry it. They seemed very happy. I did get paid. And they said, well, this is an awful setback for our company, and we're glad you survived and brought this, but if you could have done anything to prevent this would have saved us thousands of gold, and it didn't seem like you could, so we don't want you to work for us anymore.
And which company was that?
It was one of the roving caravans. Willow Road, I think it was called. They mainly deal in shipped goods. I mean, unless you're boxing yourself up in a crate, guess that's one way to travel. Might get a little hot. I mean, there are different tiered options. I mean, you can hire the best of the best escorts and travel for a pretty hefty fee, but not really have to worry about anything. Or you can kind of, rough it a bit. Really separates those in money and not in the money. City of Second Chances, Nosrael is, I heard. I've only been there once, so I think I have to go back again to have my second chance.
I think that'll be the charm for you.
Undine, what do you want to do?
Well, Colonel Bend is kind of a shithole.
Yes.
True.
So let's go.
Okay. Road trip.
Before we go, I think during this time we would have done, or Olive would have started on the research of like costs for what we need for the caravan, supplies, things like that, to kind of figure out what we need to kit out for a successful trip.
Does Undine have any combat capabilities?
None that you've ever seen.
And okay.
Well, just give her a ladle. I'm sure she can hit someone with it.
Undine, do you have any training in wearing armor?
I frequently wear suits of armor in the kitchen just to protect myself from.
Okay, well,
knives.
there's no need to be unnecessarily sassy. We're just trying to make sure you don't die in the middle of the desert.
I may not have been around for travels like Caspian has across the desert, but there's one thing I know, is if it gets really hot, I don't want to be wearing a suit of armor.
What if it gets really stabby?
Yes, that's
I'll
generally the bigger
Take
concern.
my chances with the knives.
Okay. Well, can't say that I didn't offer.
Great.
Good chat.
Just so you know, since he's out of the room, Caspian and I have absolutely no money.
Okay.
We're gonna take care of the stuff we need for the caravan.
All right, perfect.
Wasn't expecting you to chip in on that.
Good, because we don't have any money.
Don't they generally pay people to protect the caravans versus?
I think that's a job Caspian's gonna be able to get.
I mean,
you
let me ask.
you can offer to do that, and you guys are known enough around here that you have the credibility to offer yourselves in that. You get payment upon successful arrival. It is not paid ahead of time.
But we
and-
don't have to pay to go.
Yeah, it is not a. You don't have. You get some money, but it's not like worth your. It's like all expense paid trip, and you get a little bit of money on top of that for doing it. So it's basically like a free ride plus
It's
a
a
little
cruise.
extra.
It's a
Yeah.
cruise.
It's like
Pay
a
for the
cruise
meal.
that you offer to give like a guest lecture in the middle of a couple of times. There. So there are a choice of several routes you can take, and there are a couple of different tiers of security. I will outline that like all for you in a offline document, so you can go through and pick and plan for your trip out there. Is there anything else alongst the way, or any of that?
I don't think so.
During the down, I think Olive would like to fiddle with the book a little bit more to see if maybe she can open it one more time or two more times
All right.
during.
Are you going to continually cast Dispel Magic? How are you?
I think that she would like to do that, but also like kind of having Cosima open like at the same time, like just trying to figure out like if there's any like thing that she's missed in her notes or whatnot, but kind of like trying to do whatever research she can on her own, like through her own kind of like thought process or whatnot.
So, after having been in such close proximity to the other book for a while, Cosima does reveal to you there's a design on the front. Looks like a lock. Have you tried finding the thing that needs to go in there?
Like the diamond thing?
Yes, I think it's a symbol. Mark. Yeah, you find the thing that's that outline?
Well, I mean, yeah, that was, I mean, yeah, like that makes sense.
Do you know what
Where
it
am I gonna
is?
find it?
I don't know. Looks like some sort of gem crystal cut geometry shape.
She using prestidigitation. I know this is. I just want to play with this. I can make a non-magical trinket that can fit in my hand. So I'm gonna make a non-magical trinket that fits like that diamond shape and insert it in the lock.
All right. So what you end up making is sort of like a offset, sort of triangular shape that's kind of prismatic and faceted, and it does fit in. It's probably about this big. Looks kind of like when you sort of extrude it out to be three-dimensional. It looks sort of almost like a
3D printed.
shard of like a crystal or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you put it in there
Crystal?
and it has no effect.
Okay.
Bruce would like to use the magical aura to make it magical with the school of hold on, what school is knock? Not that I think transmutation. Let's try that.
non-magical trinket or illusory image can fit in your hand till the end of your next turn. So it only
Probably not
lasts...
time for this then, yeah.
What is your thing?
I mean, we could cast it at the same time, I guess. Mine
Like
is...
if we did it in like turns, right? If I did mine, then you cast it, I could still use it to the end of my turn.
True, yeah.
And so what are you doing to it?
I'm basically just making it magical with the School of Transmutation. But it's like false magic, you know? So I don't... I don't know if you can necessarily fool an item.
Alright, so I'll say this can all sort of happen in quickly if you like stand there and time it. So you make the item and make it have a transmutation magic feel to it. You place it in, and it explodes in a burst of lightning that bursts up and chars the ceiling.
Okay.
What are you blowing up in there?
I want to pan to Olive and Goose's hair, like frizzed out.
What have you done? What have you? This is gonna come out of our out of our security deposit.
They're doing magic. You wouldn't understand.
This is an explosion. I understand explosions.
Explosions of magic.
What do you do? What is going on in here? I'm gonna walk
Magic.
over and this interior of the diamond shape, is there any sort of, is it just like smooth on the sides?
It's sort of like if you inlaid something that was like a geometric shape into it. But I mean, it is sort of inlaid smooth. It's kind of like a V that goes in almost.
Okay. I mean, it's obviously you're not going to be able to open this without whatever magical item was created to be its key.
No.
How would you know if you didn't try?
Well, because you just tried something and tried to blow up the hotel.
We didn't try to blow up the hotel. We did blow up the hotel.
Not better.
Seems like lightning shouldn't be coming out of that.
Well,
For once, Caspian, we are in complete agreement.
Have you tried putting lightning into it?
Caspian, we are no longer in agreement.
Alright. Well, I mean, if there's lightning inside, maybe it likes lightning or something. I don't know.
I think either we need to figure out what it is.
It's a book.
book.
100% certain
it
it is a magical book.
If there was a way to identify it,
Yeah, that's a great idea. If you knew what it was, then you'd know what it is.
then we could research as to what its key may be.
I am like, fucking hell. I cast Identify.
What? You have that?
I do.
Oh.
Alright, what are you casting Identify on? As looking it over, there are two magical items here. One is the book, and the other is the lock around it.
Well, if this is done during the downtime, before we leave for the caravan, I will do both.
Alright.
So I think it's like one of those things where Olive got so fixated on the lock that she kind of forgot the obvious thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Identifying the book. The book is the Atlas of Endless Horizons, which is essentially a spell book filled with conjuration magic. You can use it as a spell book. It lets you sort of temporarily displace yourself, and inside has all sorts of spells that allow you to come and go through planes and move, and that sort of thing. It's a rare item.
Okay.
And the lock itself is known as the Clasp of Crecto.
do you spell that?
Class.
I know the class part.
O-F-O.
Oh, nowhere near it. Okay. And what does this tell me?
It requires a shard from the heart of Krekto in order to open it.
Who the fuck is Crypto?
Does that name mean anything to me? Does it ping anything from anything I've read?
Make a history check.
The same.
18.
Let's see.
For obscure history.
I'm a trained historian.
19.
Wasn't he a snake man? That
Incorrect.
knitted bandages.
Krekto it's an obscure sort of ancient historic reference to the days at the very beginning of the war that ended the Drake Forged era. Krekto was the king of the giant titans that the gods created in order to slay and defeat the dragons so that the gods could claim the mortal realms for their own worship. It is lost mostly to history because it was a titanic failure in that the dragons had an absolutely joyous time tearing apart these large fighters, and at every turn the dragons routed the titans, and they were very much defeated and sort of had their last stand on a mountain out in Colothune. And Krekto, being the sort of general of all of that, was in great favor with the gods, and did his best, but was ultimately defeated. Although perhaps the power that was imbued in him is not completely gone. Is the story.
So we just need one of those.
Yeah, that's it.
So either we figure out a way to get around this lock, or yes, we go to Colothune and we hope that we can find the desiccated corpse of a giant titan.
Not Colothune. It's in Ogral. The mountain is north of Ogral. Sorry, if I said Colothune, that was incorrect.
Not to put two together, but I think any shard from one of those titans might kind of fit the bill. Like,
I don't know. Usually
Like
when something's called by name.
a halfling hovel, maybe?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
You can go back and take a look.
Yeah.
The constructs that were used sort of were made from the giants themselves. Were made by the giants, but are not the giants. Historically speaking. So that was not titans, one. They were like
construct titans.
They were not constructs. These were divine beings that the gods
Gotcha.
the gods created that said like, hey, these are really big and warrior like. They you would sort of
I've seen Pacific Rim. I get it.
Yeah, Malaya having some giant
they built robot mechs.
Giant heritage. You would kind of, as Zahara says all this, you would kind of be like, oh yeah, I sort of heard about that. But it turns out, which was how mankind gained favor with the gods, is it turned out the dragons had a lot harder time dealing with the direct approach that small mortal creatures would take versus the dragons, and they had a much harder time with that. And it was mankind mortal kind that defeated the dragons, not the heroic warriors of forged by the gods. And that's how mankind, the mortal kind, gained favor with the gods.
These are called the lies of the non-giants, according to Scorius.
Okay.
Scorpius seems to have a lot of very specific things to say.
Well, I mean, he's Scorius, of course.
Olive,
He's no Maglubiot.
you have also read the name Crecto somewhere else.
Crypto-bismal.
Was
That's
it
the-
on one of the rings? Or close to one of the rings? Hang on.
Oh yeah. What about that body that we found?
What about the book with the flesh cover?
Negative.
No. Was it? You know when we traveled to the other dimension in the body of or the bones of the thing? Was it there?
Yeah, that was my other thought too.
You get the sense that that body was actually probably one of the bodies of the Titans.
He was pretty big.
Not too far from here.
But was it Crecto?
Do we see anything crystal-like?
Then there's
You
Crypto
have read the
Junior.
word somewhere.
Crypto's
fairly
illegitimate
recently.
half-son is.
Re-
Have it in my notes. Unless I badly misspelled it.
Fairly recently, you've read it
oh,
somewhere.
Jesus Christ. Like today recently. Okay, so it's in this prophecy too.
Oh, so it is.
The heart of Crecto will be casted under the golden seas.
Golden Sea is sand.
Yeah. So this is why I actually don't think I think we shouldn't travel with a caravan, because if we want to go exploring a little bit, I don't know if that caravan's gonna
The
want to.
caravan would
go on a
love that.
detour.
They wouldn't have to pay us then.
Yeah, there are
The lo-
adventurous caravans. There are get these people from point A to point B as safely as possible caravans. There are shipping ones.
DHL. Yeah.
Overnight.
Giant of the ancient dragon rests beneath the tallest mountains. So the grave of the mighty enemy of the ancient dragon, so that would be Crecto, rests beneath the tallest mountains. The lungs of the storm will always drift upward. God only knows what that means. Only once, twice traveled will the golden seas that conceal reveal. Only once, twice traveled.
That's my favorite sentence in the whole prophecy. Because it says only once, twice, and then it says conceal, reveal in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Only once, twice will the golden seas that conceal reveal the entrance. Ah, this was a joy to write.
That's a good one, Casey.
I will say, pay attention to the notes, as they may help you unravel all of this.
I can't read the note. It's so small. How do I make this bigger?
Oceans and organs. Like your kinship guides many steps to power or calamity. The grave of the mighty enemy of ancient, crossed out, lazy dragons rests beneath the tallest mountains. Lungs of the storm always shift upwards. The heart of Crecto will be cast under the golden seas to beat life again into the crypt of woe. The bastion of protection hidden for all time. Heart and lungs are the same word. It's the heart of Crecto and the lungs of the storm.
Gods bury what they no longer
We gotta
need.
have to go to Agra's mountain and find out where the shard is for the dark crystal. That's what I'm saying.
I'm hearing that we're gonna get eaten by drow. That's what I'm hearing. Gods bury what they no longer need, rest unfulfilled until purpose freed. Involves sacrifice. One of the chosen will be bestowed a supreme token of protection. Forgotten tools of the gods, rest assured, disappear when used.
What does it mean?
Well, I wasn't super interested in this before, but now it's connected, so I am now. So apparently I follow a prophecy.
We'll just call Holly. She'll let us know.
Holly already has this figured out.
First, step 1, find the NPC we hate.
Step
Well, we're
2,
traveling
kill
with
them.
one, so step 2, and resolution step, kill them.
Well, I mean,
First,
obviously,
talk badly about them for a while.
and talk badly about them to their face. So obviously, the first thing that we would have to do now is that we have to go to Ogral, but we are coming up fast on the end of the season where it's feasible to travel into the desert.
You can travel into the desert in any season. They don't do it commercially because it's borderline suicide to do it during the summer.
Okay, like I said.
Yeah. Maybe is so map wise I'm
For
confused.
normal people.
They have less HP than we do.
Correct.
That's true.
Algral is on the way to Nazrael, or is
You're
it?
currently in Ogral right now. Ogral is like the big... Did I put a map? I should have put a map on here. Did I do
It's like
that
the
yet?
country.
Sorry, I don't.
It's like a prefecture or post-fecture.
Actually, if I scroll down far enough to... Oh, I guess I can't. Eventually it goes away.
I don't have the right map saved into my Google Drive.
Deep boop boop beep boop.
So, but there's mountains in Ogral, right?
The north of Ogral is the Dove Rock Mountains, yes.
But are there mountains in Ogral, or is it just the Dove Rock Mountains?
Well, it all sort of spills out. So the north part is mountainous. Let me find you a map.
So that means you're probably going to the Dove Rock Mountains. So maybe we're not dealing with Drow, maybe we're just dealing with dwarves.
They're historically far less racist.
I'm pretty sure that these dwarves are actually fairly...
They were fairly reasonable last time we met them, yeah.
Did you guys ever meet the dwarves? When did you go to
Yeah.
Dove Rock?
Pretty sure.
I feel like the information
Or
that I was
actually,
given
was this
these many years ago when I was building Tabern was that the dwarves were like very unpleasant and did not like other people.
I'm pretty sure we
But
met
then
them.
you built Teblins.
Who was
Very-
It's very
very
unpleasant.
pleasant
Didn't
and
like
loved
people.
people.
Pre-Jadewood, I think we met them.
Hold on, maybe it was in Arisha's notes. Oh god.
Well,
Why can I not find Arisha's notes?
we could also discuss.
Look,
between
if it's a
sessions.
prophecy, it's going to happen whether we've read it or not. So let's go.
Yeah. I guess here's my question. This is not something we do on the way to Nazrael, correct?
Unless that happens.
No, just directionally. Just tell me, like, is it?
I'm trying to
Like-
upload it. So, if you were to try to find this mountain, you would travel north. If you were going to Nazrael, you would travel west.
That's what. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed. All right.
So yes, lots of things to ponder on what our
You know
next
who would likely know?
adventure
The library.
be. The library would almost certainly know. Because what does the library like?
Knowledge.
Knowing.
And overdue fees.
Yes.
And raven storms.
No, they didn't like this.
But they did not like that.
Did not like that. Cool. Well, lots to ponder, and we will have some offline communications between now and next session. Many
Cool.
viable courses forward. And I will say, because you're probably gonna need it, I guess doing all of this was
Milestone.
a
Milestone. Milestone.
We certainly
Now-
accomplished
Wow.
things.
Now my book gets
I
to
am
become
only
sentient.
doing that because I want to throw something at you that you're not quite ready for yet.
Nice.
So, I guess I will leave it to you guys to determine what your next sort of milestone progression is going to be. Dun, 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 dun.
Rum tum.
All right. Well, thanks you all for watching. Thank you Roll20.net for Roll20.netting. Thank you Kevin McLeod for Kevin McLeoding. Thank you viewers for viewing. Thank you players for playing. Social media, social media, social media. Thank you and good nighting.
Good night.
Good night.